Mothership RPG is a sci-fi horror game played by adults and contains content intended for a mature audience. The game addresses dark and difficult themes that may be uncomfortable or upsetting to some viewers, including, but not limited to, violence, gore, strong language, body horror, drug and alcohol use, loss of autonomy, and sexual content. The game also contains depictions of mental illness, trauma, stress, and panic that may not be suitable for all audiences. Our players have discussed their zones of comfort at length, and we have safety tools at our disposal. Please use caution when viewing, and be sure to take a break from the game if you feel the need.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Superior Adventurers Guild. My name is Dave, your humble dungeon master, pal, and warden for this finale of our short shot Mothership RPG game. We have been delving into cosmic terror and a little bit of sci-fi horror with this game. We've been having a really good time with it. I am just encouraged to do more of this. Mothership is a really fun sort of old school game where once the dice start rolling, it's almost too late. And we're going to find out what happens tonight to our team who is struggling to survive aboard an asteroid, Tenebris 979, amidst a somewhat chaotic and dark emergence of, well, something. We may or may not find out, to be honest with you. But I do want to raise your attention that Mothership RPG is a sci-fi horror game played by adults, contains content intended for a mature audience. The game addresses dark and difficult themes that may be uncomfortable or upsetting to some viewers, and that's okay. There are topics such as violence, gore, strong language, body horror, drug and alcohol use, loss of autonomy, and sexual content. The game also contains depictions of mental illness, trauma, stress, and panic that may not be suitable for all audiences. Our players have discussed their zones of comfort at length, and we have safety tools at our disposal. Please use caution while viewing the game, and make sure that if you need to, you step away and take a break. 100% fine. We respect your decision. We appreciate you being here, but this is tends to be a little bit on the darker, gory horror side of things. So just be aware of that. I also want to raise your attention to the fact that some of our stream overlays have special effects that utilize some flashing light effects. So just if you have photosensitivity, be aware of that. It comes up especially when there's a panic check initiated. I should mention also that while you're hanging out watching us, you can use channel points to influence the game. You can actually trigger panic checks for one of the players if you want to use channel points in that way. And you can also use bits to give our team advantages to support them so that when they roll, they have a higher likelihood of success. So check that out, and we welcome you to get involved with the game where appropriate. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the awesome players who have been hanging out with me for the last 5 weeks playing this game. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to be here.
Welcome back to this episode of Mothership RPG. So glad to have you all. What I would like to do is go around this virtual tabletop, my friends, and have each of you introduce yourself, tell us where we can find you on socials, plug anything that you might be working on you want people to know about, and give us just a quick description of who you're playing tonight. And we are going to begin with not the player who's in most dire straits, because I have no idea what's going on in your life, but the character certainly is in dire straits. And that, my friend, is Kevin's character, Corporal Hayes. So Kevin, please introduce yourself, my friend. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm Kevin, found online on the socials at KevRan Games. I am returning, as he mentioned, as Corporal Kenneth Hayes, who is, in fact, having some difficulties right now. When last time Hayes remembers what was going on, I pretty much was in the incinerator room with Jake Johnson when the lights proceeded to go out. And during that time, Jake disappeared, leaving me alone. If that wasn't strange enough, guess what? The dead decided to come to life again, started ripping out of their body bags. And even though I put up one hell of a fight, making sure I could get back to my team, I did succumb to my injuries. And as I fell into the dark, I could hear the voice of my father, his abusive words, the sounds of other abuse on the air, drawing me closer into the dark. And I hope that these are not my last moments, but that is where we will find me today.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty lighthearted game, really.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Yep. Oh my God. I think I might have blacked most of that out, Kev, to be honest with you. That was intense.
It
I
was
appreciate
very
you
intense.
leaning into sort of the bit of uncomfortability and psychosis of these characters. All of you have done a great job of that, and I think you scared Rachel away because she just dropped off the Zoom and she's hiding, probably because of the terror has finally struck. Either that or her brother pulled out the power cable on her computer, as little brothers do sometimes. As we're sort of waiting for Rachel to come back, let's dive over to our good friend Adrian Sly Sparrow. Welcome back. So glad that you can make the time to be with us. I know you're busy, and I love having you in this game. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, where we can find you, and who you're playing tonight, please.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Adrian. I go under the handle Sly Sparrow on Twitch and on Twitter and on Instagram, where I'm an actor, producer, tabletop role-play gamer, and I love talking about role-playing games and nerd culture fandoms, whether it be, Star Wars or Willow or anything out there. Let's get talking and having great conversations. My character is the pilot called Dimitri, and he has been going through a bit of a pickle, so to speak. After the darkness subsided and the doors of the hangar bay opened, the crawlers arrived. And as we were making a run for it and getting to close the hangar doors and to get to the ship, suddenly we were overwhelmed with these crawlers. And when it struck RT, and I knew that I had to go save him, and just kind of running past him and looking at his wide eyes staring at me through the glass of his faceplate, it reminded me of Dimitri's past, where his younger sister drowned, and it was under a lake that froze over, and he still is haunted by her face, and the eyes looking through the ice reminded me almost of the paralyzed RT with his eyes peeking through the glass. And so he was determined, no matter what, to save this man. And grabbing his shotgun, lovingly known as Mother Russia, getting to the door and using every bullet he has to blow away these crawlers. What did manage to drag RT back to the ship, had to perform a little bit of an adrenaline stim shot into his chest, which was kind of scary for both of us, actually. But then we ended up having a really great training montage, and 80s style, putting on our headbands and all of our makeshift weapons, while the 80s music, I Need a Hero, is playing in the background, and we get all put the grease paint on our faces, and we run back into danger, into the mining station to save our friends.
I mean, that's an action movie right there. That's like a Michael Bay style action movie I'm hearing. This is great. Did we actually do that? That was beautiful. Thank you for the update. Even though you didn't move your mouth the whole time, you gave a wonderful recap of Dimitri's predicament. So thank you for that. I hope your camera is doing okay, because someone screen capture that again, please. We got one last week. Let's quickly jump over to Tim. Hi, Tim.
Hey, I'm Tim. I'm playing RT, the mechanic who doesn't belong in combat, but seems to end up in combat more than often. I think Adrian did a great job of describing what happened to us as a pair. I think the only thing I can add from RT's perspective is that while he was paralyzed by crawler poison, it only shut off his sense of touch. So all of the sights, smells, tastes, and sounds came through bright and clear as his friend Dimitri fought for his life and RT's life against the crawlers. His field of vision was limited, but he was privy to seeing both Dimitri's shoes run by, and then crawler legs run by him at several times. Also, he had the unfortunate vantage point of hearing gunshots without knowing if Dimitri was firing in panic and missing and dying, or if he was succeeding in defending us. So no old terror came to the front for RT, but a whole new, fresh version of terror found him in that moment. So, and then, as Adrian said, we rushed to aid our fallen friend, and he RT actually killed one of the undead things, and is maybe a little changed a bit himself after that experience. So
Wow, yeah, that whole sequence was amazing in the hangar, and just what stood out to me was when Adrian's character comes up with the adrenaline, kind of like we were just talking about
Pulp Fiction,
yeah, Pulp Fiction, and he comes down with the adrenaline as RT is kind of like just looking ahead blankly, but can see everything and feel everything, just can't move. That was a really cool scene. Yeah, I've covered his eyes and stabbed him. All right. Well, thank you for that, Tim. Always a pleasure to play games with you. We had an awesome Morkborg session last Wednesday will go down in history for me as one of my favorite sessions. So thank you for being there for that. Let's jump over to Rachel. Rachel, do we have you? Do we hear you, Rachel? Can you hear us?
Hey guys, can
Hi.
you hear me?
Heck yeah.
I'm here despite my whole computer shutting down. So I'm currently working on getting that restarted, and I'm just on my phone right now, and so hopefully I'll switch over in a little bit. But I'm super excited to have our final installment of Mothership tonight and play Yael, the scientist doctor, who is, a bit rough around the edges, but last time we figured out that Yael was actually there to speak to the head geologist on base. His name was Lee, I believe.
Yeah, Dr. Marcus Lee.
Marcus Lee. And they found him in a coma. And then they found a mysterious rock somewhere on the base. And so with Garcia, she was able to take a look at this monolith, and she felt really good. She felt all these memories about her childhood, all these really feel-good things. And then Garcia decided to touch said monolith, and chaos ensued. So from there, Yael was able to get out of there as quickly as she possibly could, run past quite a few zombies, and she got a ping on her communicator that 2 of her teammates were down, and she went to the closest one, which was the corporal, only to find him in a coma. I believe there was also a moment where we found out she was wearing cargo pants and like unzipped the bottom part of the cargo pants.
We will never forget that moment.
Definitely happened. Very canon. Yeah.
It definitely happened. It is canon, and I will not argue about it anymore. Just kidding. And she was able to get to the corporal in time. I believe she also shut a zombie in a door, which was quite fun.
Yes, she certainly did. Turns out she's a bit of an action hero as well.
Bit of an action hero. Quite a few failed rolls last time, though. So please give us some inspiration this time, because, wow, we're going to need it.
We all need it.
So thank you. I'm super excited to play. Sorry for my issues. Hopefully I'll get it worked out soon.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Get it squared away, whatever you need to do. We're just glad to have you. Thanks for being here for this final chapter. Really quick, I'm gonna do a little bit of a broader recap to kind of tie it all together, but I just want to point out that yes, indeed, above every person's video frame, there is a stress meter. That stress meter goes up as things happen in the game, failed rolls, encounters with interesting stuff that scares people and causes stress. As that goes up, it becomes harder and harder for our team to succeed in their panic checks. A panic check will happen when it is triggered either by myself or by the chat using channel points. And typically when the panic is triggered, that's a bad thing. Now, our team has done a very good job of saving against panic, let's call it. And so they have kind of kept it together, which is very, I guess, illustrative of their resolve and their ability to deal with stressful situations. We're going to see what happens tonight. But if you want to influence the game, you can influence it by using your channel points to trigger panic checks or give people advantages. You can also use bits to do that as well. And I'm going to drop a little bit of information about that with 100 bits to grant an advantage. And there should be a little panel that'll pop up on the screen here in a second to show you a little bit more about that. But nevertheless, we're going to dive into a quick little recap of what happened last week. Actually, this is a little bit of a recap that brings everything together, to be honest with you. So we heard a little bit about what happened last week in our last session. We had the crew was scattered across the mining colony, each of them working to make sense of their strange situation on Tenebris 979. This metal-rich asteroid of considerable monetary value that is under claim by Sundian Holdings, which is a subsidiary, of course, of Green Star Logistics. We all know that. And the Green Star Logistics is the employer, the corporate employer of our crew. Now, our crew had been part of a larger crew aboard a cargo freighter called the Romulus 7, and they had been tasked with descending to this asteroid to help them with their comms array, figure out what was going on. And as Rachel had indicated, Yael, our scientist of the group, had a secondary mission to make contact with Marcus Lee, the geologist. The crew had been diverted by corporate command. These administrators, they don't give a whole lot of detail. They don't need to give a whole lot of detail because of pursuant to Section 11-3 of your contract, while you are on duty in the ship, you are required to follow orders, to respond to anything of company business, legitimate company business. So it's all in the contract, guys. Now, corporate command has their motivations, and you guys have yours. Your motivation is to get the job done, get home, and get paid. Now, I believe your motivation is likely more akin to surviving. Since arriving on the rock, you've experienced the inexplicable, seeing people who shouldn't be there, some people from your past even, dead people, the after effects of horrible violence and death on display before you inside this mining colony facility. You'd only just arrived in Tenebris hours earlier. Your situation went from bad to worse in a hurry. A near catastrophic crash upon your descent, an attack by a pack of ravenous spider, lamprey, bioform creatures, the discovery of these bodies strewn about the blood-festooned hallways, and the seemingly indifferent or unaware employees of the Sundian mining colony who didn't really seem to understand why you were so shaken. You discovered Dr. Lee, the geologist, in a coma, as Rachel had suggested, and you investigated the laboratory where you found the stone monolith, and that's when things got crazy. This thing had been recovered from the inside of a cavern below the surface on this asteroid. It was an artifact. There was chaos. There was darkness. The whispers spread across the facility. You each have experienced horrors, and one of your number, Corporal Hayes, went down. And at this point, my friends, you have all reconverged inside the incinerator room. Yael has maneuvered the body, the body of Hayes, onto a gurney, has provided some basic life support using some bioform to at least close the gaping neck wound that was just firing off a gout of blood as he'd been bitten by one of these creatures that tore through one of the body bags. As Yael is getting ready to push the gurney forward, in run RT and Dimitri to join her. And this is the point now where you guys have an opportunity to sort of, I would say, have a quick conversation amongst yourselves and maybe come up with a plan for what you intend to do next.
As the door opens, and we see Yael and and what looks like to be the corporal, Dimitri, will literally burst in the door. We need to go. Let's go. We need to get to ship. Let's go.
Does anyone respond as Dimitri says this?
I think Yael would say no shit. We
Oh.
need to go. But as you can see, the corporal in front of me is literally not moving or conscious. I need to get him to the medical bay if we have a chance of saving him.
We need to like destroy this whole place. Like, there's no reason. Like, what happened?
Let's discuss it on the way to the medical bay, and like looking at the hand, how far away the little hand transmitter data pad, how far away is the medical bay from our location?
You get the sense that it's across the facility to get to the med bay. Like, you're gonna have to backtrack considerably. You had been there, Yael had been there, so you kind of know where it is.
Okay. Well, Dimitri, we'll start with the gurney. All right, we move, you talk. Let's go. And we'll start
Yes,
pushing the
I
gurney.
think I will push the current gurney if you guys can keep things off of us. Because we have no idea what else is out there. I mean, I just closed this one in the door, and you see like the severed body of one of these things that I closed in the door. So I mean, that's going to be the biggest problem, is getting there. So if you can help me fight them off, I can push the gurney.
Yeah, we can do that. And he's got his bloody hammer and his crowbar. Like, yeah, let's go.
Okay, just tell us where to go, and start running
Okay.
out.
All right. So she's giving you directions. Hayes is on the gurney. Yael is pushing it, and then RT and Dimitri are sort of in front. Give me everybody give me a D12 roll, including Hayes.
Roll. Yeah.
All right. What'd you get, RT?
7.
7. You hear these whispers, and most of it is unintelligible. But you hear this phrase being repeated, and it starts to make sense then, and you can understand it says, "The stars are not your friends. The stars are not your friends. You are a star." Dimitri, what did you roll?
Dimitri rolled an 8.
Same thing, Dimitri. As you burst through the doors and start making your way down the hall, you can it almost like startles you. You think there's someone there, but you hear this whisper, and it's in the voice of Nadia. "Surrender yourself to the abyss, Dimitri."
Keep running. Keep running.
Yael, what did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay. Thank you, Jerboa Tamer 77. Dimitri, you have an advantage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you very kindly. All right, so Yael, you're pushing the gurney in your zip-off shorts, and you're moving it down the hallway as it's sort of like, it's difficult to push. Hayes is not a small person, but you hear this whispering, and then something that rings true to you. You hear, "Things are not what they seem. They are not what they seem."
Don't like that.
And then finally, Corporal Hayes, what did you roll?
11.
Oh, this is very fitting. In your state of somewhere near the edge of life and the beginning of death, you hear the voice of your father. And he just says to you, "Kenny, the end is near. I'm waiting for you." but you don't have a chance to respond because, of course, you are still unconscious in this state, right? The rest of you have to just kind of put it out of your mind, but the whispering is louder now than it was before. The messages start to be more clear as they're coming through. It's almost like you're starting to learn what this thing is trying to communicate to you, or perhaps this thing is starting to learn how to communicate more effectively to you. And as you're pushing your way down the hallways, there are these sort of like tendrils that are almost like body parts, arms almost, that are now starting to sort of writhe out of the ductwork of these tunnels and of these corridors. And I need everybody to make a body save for me as you make your way through the hallways, pushing the gurney, trying to get to the med bay.
Hayes as well.
Not good.
Hayes does not have to make this roll.
Oh.
All right, I see. What did you roll, RT?
9. I'm good.
Okay, so that's a success. Dimitri?
74. That's not a success.
That is not a success. You do take a point of stress, my friend.
Oh my god.
Into the double digits. And Yael, what did you roll?
Sorry, I just need a second.
No problem.
36.
And your body is?
I think lower than that. I think
Yeah.
that's a fail. Just
Yeah, that
barely.
is a fail. So you do take a point of stress as well. And these tendrils and these arms grasp onto Yael and Dimitri as you're pushing. The gurney gets grabbed and kind of toppled over, and Hayes' body falls to the ground. And that is when, my friends, these creatures step out of, like, they start to get up. Now, as you look around, you can see that there are bodies laying in this corridor, and they begin to move and twitch. They have these like pustules on them as well, that you hadn't noticed before. It's almost as though something is sort of like moving underneath their skin.
Ew.
And I need everybody to make a speed check for me as we get into a little bit of initiative order here.
Wow.
Damn, RT.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm still having computer issues, so I'm trying
That's totally okay.
You're good, Rachel.
Yep, take your time. We're gonna get set up for this, so don't worry.
What do I need to roll?
A speed, please.
Okay.
And I will roll speed as well. Okay. All right, so who succeeded?
RT
All right.
did.
All right, RT. Everybody else failed?
Yes.
I
Oh,
haven't
no.
rolled.
Dimitri did.
RT, give me a D4 roll, please.
3.
3, okay. So I'm gonna bring up the map screen here so folks can kind of see what's going on. Rachel, were you able to get a, oh, there it is.
All right,
Uh-oh.
so I guess like 66, so failed.
Oh no. Not only is that a fail, my friend, but that unfortunately is also triggers a panic check for you.
Yep, I'm critically failing in many ways right now.
That's okay. Take your time. Take your time. We'll give you a time to breathe here. Does anybody know a good joke? Dimitri, you
Panic
failed
is a
your
D20.
I did fail.
yeah.
Yeah, D20.
Yep, D20.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
Roll well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're fine. You rolled over your
All
current
good.
stress. Yep.
All good.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Nicely
okay.
done. Okay, so take your time, Rachel, we're gonna get this set up. You guys watch as there are these creatures that you rolled a 3, Tim, is that right?
A 7. Oh, a 3 on the D4, yeah.
Yep, okay. So something strange
In the neighborhood.
something very strange in the neighborhood. As you look up, you see rising up from these piles of bodies and gore, there are 2 more of these like weird undead crew members. They've got like torn blue jumpsuits on with the Sundian holding patch on them, but they just don't look right. And you can see that their eyes are just hollow, and they turn towards you immediately, seeing you enter into this hallway. But there's something else. As you look farther down the hall, you can see that one of the pustules on top of one of the other bodies bursts open, and this creature flies out. Its wings flapping almost like a hummingbird, and it's got this weird flat face with rows of teeth around it. Let me just see if I have. I think I might have a picture of this guy, because this is pretty cool. Here it is. So this is what you're looking at. It's popping out of this big pustule that's on top of this guy. Rach, are you back with us?
I don't see it, but I believe you guys. It sounds scary.
Yeah, it's not great. You'll have to take our word for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only person that succeeded was RT. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, RT, you are able to take a turn. What do you want to do?
Well, he's gonna crowbar and hammer. I think this one. Just
Sounds
no
good.
fear. Rush him. Try to smash the face in with a hammer.
Okay.
And that is, what check is it? That's combat, right?
That's a combat check. And you know what I should probably do, because this creature, I'm being far too nice in this game. Because this creature has popped out of this body and is starting to fly. This is the first time you've seen this thing. Everybody give me a fear save.
Oh, shit. That's not great. Okay.
I'm gonna use the advantage that was given to me.
Very nice.
I fail. That's
Oh
a stress.
no.
I have that advantage. Let's see.
You're at 8 RT.
Oops,
Yep.
I rolled the wrong dice. Hold on. Ooh, the advantage
Nice.
saved me.
You saved it?
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
And Rachel?
I am not there, but
Okay.
2 seconds.
Yep, take your time. Dr. Pimple Popper, exactly. And at Yale, you do have an advantage. I don't know if you saw that come in, probably not, from Cardman. Thanks, Cardman.
Oh, thank you. All right, so let's see. It is rolling.
Here it comes.
There we go.
Here we
Can you
go.
guys
A
see that?
2. You got a 2. So you
Wow. Got
a
succeed.
2.
You succeed in your fear check. All right, so RT, I'm sorry. Go ahead and give us your combat roll as you come up to club this thing with your hammer or your crowbar. Ooh.
Nice. You were on fire today.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yes.
All right, roll some crowbar damage. Do you know how much that does?
I have no clue. I should.
All right, a crowbar does D5 blunt damage.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do is roll a D10 and then just 1 through 5, 1 through 5, or excuse me, 1 through 5, 6 through 10 will just be 1 through 5, 1 through 5.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, well, that wrong die, but 9.
Okay, so that does 4 bludgeoning damage to this guy as you crack him over the head. Okay. Anything else from your turn? You want to? You moved. You have an action. You probably have a little bit extra movement or whatever you want to do. Otherwise, we'll move on to their turn.
Can he like pull this guy's attention over to this side?
Could try for sure. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
definitely move over there and kind of try to draw him away from your party.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. That is your turn. Now it's my turn. As these guys move in, one of them towards Dimitri, and RT. This one is going to kind of track you as you kind of maneuver around it. So it's going to try to attack you. So I'm going to jump into some die rolls here. So the first one on you, RT. I'm rolling combat. Actually, let me see. Yeah, let's roll combat. Forgot how I was doing this. They are D4. So I'm going to roll D4 to see what it does first, and then I'm going to roll the combat roll. Okay.
Oh no. Please tell me that's not a spike attack.
A 56 is going to miss you. These are not crawlers. These are like the sort of the undead like kind of reanimated humans, but it misses you.
Okay.
The other one, Dimitri, is coming at you. Let's just see what kind of an attack it's going to make. Okay. And here's the combat roll. A 69, dude, is not going to hit you. As it comes up, Dimitri, you're able to duck out of the way. That brings us back to you guys, Dimitri and Yael. Doesn't matter what order you go, it's up to you.
Well, I will go ahead and go first since
Yeah,
I
you
was
go
just
first.
recently attacked. Now, first thing I have to ask is where's Corporal Hayes? Corporal Hayes is on the ground, fell off the gurney next to me.
Yep.
And all right, so what's gonna happen is as this undead crone came towards me and ducked out of the way, as Dimitri ducks and looks down and sees Corporal Hayes on the ground, seeing that I've served with Corporal Hayes and we were actually buddies, I know he keeps a knife on him. So right by his boot, by his leg, I'm gonna grab that knife and I'm gonna come up to the crone and I'm gonna get that undead right in the like across the jaw, just slice right towards the neck.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my combat knife is going to do a D5 damage that causes bleeding damage.
Let's see if I hit.
Yeah, you hit.
7.
Very
There
nice.
we
Yeah,
go.
roll some damage, please.
That damage you roll with advantage.
So you
Oh, you
roll.
said that was
so-
a, did you say that was a D6 or a D5?
It's a D5 with advantage.
Oh, I rolled a 10. So that's
All
5
right.
points of damage.
Yep. So 5 points of damage to
And
that
bleed.
one. All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is beautiful. I'm gonna say this, Yael, it's your turn, but I forgot to use the flyer, so I'm gonna do that after Yael's turn.
Maybe
Okay,
you
but
forgot
it's
to
my
go.
turn now.
No, he wouldn't have though. He's so ravenous. It's Dave's brain that's hard to remember. Yeah, go ahead, Yael.
Sorry, so it's my turn, or I have to
Yep.
roll something. Okay.
Yeah. Totally your turn.
Can I like ram into one of them with the gurney?
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, roll a combat roll for me.
I mean, if RT can use a forklift.
Forklift.
I mean, you can do anything in this game.
So what do I roll to do that?
So that'll be your D100 roll against your combat check.
Okay. Here's the D100. Let me know if that comes through. And my combat is 35. So I don't do it.
Well, yeah, I think you rolled a 2 of the.
Oh, I rolled wrong? Okay.
Oh, actually,
Let me try again.
no, you rolled a. There we go.
Roll up.
That is a 12.
Yeah, that succeeds.
Woo! So yeah, I want to ram the closest one with the gurney.
All right, yeah, that would be the one that's attacking Dimitri. That Dimitri just cut, but you can you can push the gurney into this guy. With your combat roll, give me a D10. We'll do a D10 and we'll divide it by 2. All right, so you do 2 points of
That's
damage.
a 4.
All right, so you do 2 points. And then because I forgot to do this other creature, it is going to fly in towards RT
Okay.
and try to latch on. I will give it a combat roll to see what happens here. I rolled a 38. That does hit. So let me roll a d4 to see what it does, RT. Okay. It comes up to you, and instead of latching onto you with these rows of teeth, it belches out this like bubble of slime, and it just kind of plops onto you and sprays across you and the hallway behind you. You cannot move until you make a strength check to get out. You're so unlucky with those attacks.
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry. That brings us back to RT. It's your turn now. You can make a strength check to get out of that if you want to. Otherwise, you could attack one of these guys, but we'll make it at disadvantage.
I mean, I gotta do strength. I cannot not move again
Yeah, you got to get
for
out
the
of there, man.
entirety of an episode. All right, strength check.
Get
Here
out.
we go.
Yeah, you totally got slimed. Yes, 6.
Because
you
I'm a
get out.
boss right now. I don't know what's going on.
The dice are hot for you.
All
So
right.
you use your action to break free of this stuff. Where do you want to move?
Good question. He's gonna step back and like beckon both of them to come at him.
Oh shit! Like one of these.
Yeah. Well, like with,
Oh, here we go.
yeah, he's just like, come on, let's do this. Come on.
All right. That brings us to their turn. Funny enough. So one of them comes forward. 2 of them come forward, and Dimitri, there's still one on you. We'll go with the one on you first, Dimitri. I'm going to roll combat for this guy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the what did you call it? The crone.
The crone.
The undead crone. A 58 for the crone is not going to hit. The crone misses you as you are fending this thing off quite nicely. We'll have undead go after you. RT, we'll see what happens here with the combat roll. 64 is not going to cut it. And then what I'm calling the slime moth. 67 is, they miss you, you lucky son of a gun. Okay, that brings us to Dimitri. You still got Haze on the ground.
Right, so I'm just basically standing over him, protecting his comatose body. But I'm basically just going at it, just bobbing and weaving. And then what I'm going to attempt to do is, instead of a slashing motion, I'm going to try to stab it in and continue running with the knife across the hall to kind of clear some room. So I'm like, just stabbing, just keep running.
Okay. Give us a combat roll, friend. Let's see what happens. Oh.
No.
No, yeah.
That's an 89.
Yep, it fails. You try to jab into it, and you might even catch some of its flesh, but it's kind of a glancing blow, and it doesn't even seem to notice what you're doing. Yael, what would you like to do?
I mean, it was pretty effective last time. Can I try to ram the one that is attacking RT?
You could. Yeah, you could. It's sure. Why not? Give it a try. Give us a combat check as you push this thing over and try to hit this from behind.
All right. Gotta pull the dice back up. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
This is Yael and the no good, very bad day. And then for some reason, every time I join, it's like it gets rid of the D100.
Peculiar.
I have to add it back in.
The tech gremlins are busy tonight. That's no joke. It happens to everybody.
Gremlins in California specifically don't want me.
Ooh.
That's a 72. So
yeah, that's not going to cut it.
I tried.
You try and you push the gurney across the room, and it sort of like swivels and wobbles, and you just don't seem to hit this thing as effectively as you had hoped. Corporal Hayes, there's a lot going on around you, but you're locked in sort of this quiet space, this boundary between life and death. There's something that you feel in the depths of your consciousness that is not your father's disappointment or the guilt of your brother and your mother, but something new, almost as if it's an encouraging feeling, but there's something changing inside of you. I'm just curious if Hayes has any ideas of what's going on in this space.
I feel like as he was making his path towards the light beyond, as you had mentioned last time, he noticed the sounds of his mother, of his brother, their cries for help that he wasn't able to answer because he was away doing things for the military. He heard his father's voice, threatening, taunting, bringing him back to that guilt that he feels. But he also, in this moment, hears the sounds of his companions. And then, strangely enough, that presence that he feels, it starts to coalesce into a voice that he's actually never heard before. A little girl's voice, actually. And as she starts to speak, it's like her words are not in a language he understands, but they somehow change and flow with the dark, and he can understand what she says. She says that the stars are not his friend, and his friend, her brother, needs his help.
Indeed. It's that moment as well where you, Hayes, in this unconscious state, begin to feel that there's something growing inside of you. A force that perhaps could be used to help your friends, yet you still lay lifeless on the ground with this realization as the battle wages on. And we come back
feel like
to
when
RT.
he lays there,
Go ahead.
I feel like when he lays there on his side because he's fallen off the gurney, if this was a movie, it would zoom in real slow onto his one hand that's laying across the ground.
Yes.
And we just see fingers start to twitch.
Yes. I love that. Thank you for that. All right. So the battle continues on. RT, it's your turn. You've got these two things on you. They seem to have missed you last turn. You got to take them out.
Yep. So is the, just for clarification's sake, the hammer does a D5. Is the crowbar any more deadly than that, or?
Nope, same thing.
Same thing? Okay.
Yeah, they basically do the same type of damage, bludgeoning, and D5, yep.
Okay, let's see. 2 targets. Yael's behind this one. I've already hit that one, so I'm going to swing it at number 1 again with, this time, the crowbar. Just to try to knock his teeth out.
While you're rolling, I will explain. I just added a timer to the board, and I'll explain that in a second.
Well, I did roll. The gremlins have hit me. I don't know what's going on. Try again.
Hey guys, can you hear me, by the way?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I think I've got something figured out here, and we are good. Just wanted
Nice.
to double check for doing that.
Awesome.
Is it working, Tim?
No.
by hook or crook, we will finish this adventure. I am determined that we will get there.
I mean, it says I've rolled, but it doesn't.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, there's another one.
Okay.
Well, we'll go with the first
neither
one.
of them's hit,
Yeah,
so.
the 54. So you miss. Do you want to try to move?
Wow, that was some lag. Good grief.
It really was.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back around this way and try to put the sludge moth between me and the zombie.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yael, as you smash into one of these undead mine workers, it kind of turns to you and is going to attempt to attack you. RT, the slime moth, is going to try to attack you, and Dimitri, you've got one of these guys on you still. I'm going to also say that as I'm going to move this timer off, the timer is ticking down. And what this is representing is the fact that as you look around, you catch a glimpse of movement out of the side of your eyes, and you can see that the other bodies in this hallway have similar pustules on them that are sort of swelling, and they're pulsing and swelling bigger and pulsing.
No.
All right, so we'll start with RT, the slime moth, which you may shortly find more of them, is going to attempt to attack you. So let me roll a combat roll for the slime moth. 09 is going to hit, so I'll roll to see what it does. Oh shit. Okay, so as you square off with this thing, RT, its mouth with all these rows and circles of teeth just opens up. And you see inside this blinding flash of white, hot light. It fills the whole space. I need you to make a sanity save. As inside this white light, you see this woman that you had deep feelings for, that you had in a moment fallen in love with, as she boards a ship and the ship begins to take off, and you think to yourself, I may never see her again. And at that moment, your prophecy is fulfilled as the craft explodes in a bright, hot light. And there's something in your mind that pulls you towards insanity. And what is that? Why is that so important to you?
It's in that moment he looks down at the fuel line that he'd been repairing and realizes that's what he was the cause of all of it. He failed, and it cost something. It cost the world something beautiful.
It was all
and
your
I'm gonna roll.
fault.
It will roll. I swear it'll roll. I fail.
All right. So you, in that moment of bright white light that flashes in front of you, you have this forced memory of despair and guilt, and you take an additional level of stress. Let's see. There you are.
I'm at 9.
You're at 9, my friend. Let's just double check here. Dimitri, you do have an advantage from wandering endlessly. Thank you so much. You've got weather gremlins out in California, so that's probably why we're seeing some of the lag and challenges. But Rachel, looking great. Your camera is back on and it looks wonderful. So good to have you back. All right, so RT, that was their attack. Yael, they tried to attack you, or no, they haven't attacked you yet. Hello, let's do this.
They could not attack me.
They could.
Yeah.
They might miss.
They didn't miss.
Not with
No,
the
they
10.
didn't miss.
No.
Not with the 10. So let's see. That is going to be a D4. I've basically got this on a there's multiple options, and I roll a die to see what happens, so that I can at the end of this campaign go, well, it was the dice that did it, guys. I'm sorry. That is going to be a claw attack against you, Rachel, Yael, and it's going to be 2d10.
2d10?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Do I do a body save?
You can do, yes, you can do a body save to try to half it. So it's 4 right now. Go ahead and do a body save. Thank you, wandering endlessly, you old rascal.
I made it. 15.
A 15. All right, so you take 2 damage, 2 health impacts to you. And everybody is going to...
I haven't taken any damage yet.
You haven't taken damage? Well. We can fix that.
This is Yael's first cut.
Somebody's
of the game.
volunteering to be a human shield.
Yep.
I guess
He's
so.
taken a lot of emotional damage, just
Wandering endlessly
damage.
to the rescue here. Way to go, wandering endlessly. Thank you so much for all of those gift subs. They're going to help to decrease the stress load on our players here. In just a second, I'll take care of that. But first of all, Dimitri, there's going to be an attack coming on you.
Okay.
36 is a hit.
Oh, it was bound to happen.
Yep, and let's see, what is it going to be? It is going to be a bite, which is D10.
Ouch.
So you can make a body save. You can make a body save if you want, and try to should try to half that.
Sweet Lord.
Come on, make the body save.
Should I use my advantage? I should probably use the advantage on the body save.
I would.
Feel like, yeah, let's use the advantage. Here we go. 32 is body save.
Yeah.
Yep.
I make it.
All right, so you take 4 damage, and I am going to reduce everybody's stress real quick.
You take 2, but your suit is busted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Your vac suit. Thank you for that. All right, so let me just reduce some stress here.
Brings me down to 11.
Well, we need new vac suits.
It's like as soon as we get them.
The chat is really helping you guys out with these
Thanks,
with
chat.
this reducing your stress, so give them a shout out here. All right, so I have adjusted everybody's stress levels. You're all back in the single digits. Seemingly Hayes is feeling pretty good right now because he's down to 2, even though he is
And unconscious.
All right, so let me do this, because oftentimes I'll forget, is that we have the counter is now at 3. These pustules are pulsing and getting bigger and starting to almost tear open. You can see like the membrane is starting to tear and rip, and you can see movement underneath.
I'm wishing I jury-rigged that flamethrower.
Yeah, that would have been great. Dimitri, it's your turn. You've got one of these things in front of you still, and you're getting a little concerned about what might be coming.
Right. I am going to I'm gonna have to disengage a bit. So what I'm going to do is Yael attempted at first to roll the gurney into number 1, but failed, and now they've been kind of going back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to muster up the military training, and I am going to get one hand on Corporal Hayes, and you know, I know he is in a coma. I know that. And so I will be, Corporal, you need to wake up! Wake up! And then I will like literally take all of my strength to drag him, and I'm going to put him on that gurney, and because I'm assuming the gurney kind of like bounced off when it missed, and then motion to Yael, and I'm going to take her and drag her back, put her on the gurney, and I am going to run this gurney down this hallway, allowing everyone to jump on this gurney and try to take the blows from what's coming. It's just like we need to get out regardless of what happens. So
yeah, we'll just like hang on to the side while you're pushing them back.
All of a sudden, it's Cool Runnings, and we're bobsledding down the
through the dead bodies.
Yeah. All right, I love that idea. I think that's a great idea. Dimitri,
we need sunglasses. Then it's like Weekend at Bernie's.
There we go. Yeah.
And also, you know,
Corporal
as
Hayes.
going by, allowing RT a chance to make a jump for it to jump on the gurney so he can surf his way down through the bodies.
All
And then
right.
just-
I love it. Let's start with this. Give me a strength check as you pull Hayes, you get him on the gurney, you're going to start pushing it down the hall. We'll do that. I'm sure that
so
was
close. My strength is 49 and I got a 52.
Oh
That's
no.
good.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
you
this is
can't-
where you use your advantage.
I used my advantage
Yeah, you got
last
two
time.
advantages. You got two.
Do I have two? I still have to call it before I used it. I didn't know I had a second one.
I'll let you know. I'll let you do it if you want to, because you didn't know.
All right, I'll
I'm
do it
being
again.
too nice. I'm being
So
too
close.
nice.
Come on. No, it's too heavy.
It was not meant to be. You guys, I thought we'd get into some other scenes, but this could be the end right
I
here.
know, this may be the end.
Dude, Corporal, you needed to lay off those ding dongs, man.
Oh,
Good
too many
grief.
MREs, man.
A lot of MREs. Oh my god! All right, that brings us to it was an awesome idea. I'll give you that. It was a really cool idea. Yael.
I do think, though, that the sentiment is the right idea. Like, because this whole time, have we been running and fighting these things, or are we just at a standstill?
You guys got bogged down in this hallway and kind of like engaged.
I wish we could, like, go through the vents. Like, I know that was a whole thing a few episodes ago, but, like, how do you get a gurney through vents?
The gurney probably wouldn't fit, but you could try to drag. I mean, it would be tough. But you could try it. But it would be tough.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I will take out my utility knife and take a slash at one of these things. And maybe just try to make a hole that we could, like, get through and at least keep moving so we're not, like, stuck here.
Okay. So you just let me get this straight. You don't want to run.
I mean, I would love to run. I thought we just failed to run. So I thought the option
No,
is
that
fight
was
now.
that was just the gurney thing. But yeah, so what you could do is you can take your attack, and then you can move too. You don't have to stay put. So whatever you want to do with that.
I mean, I would love to keep moving if that's possible. If I could use my turn to continue with the gurney as far as we can go.
Yep. So I would say, like, oops, I'm moving dead people around. With your movement, you could get to this door here on the far end.
I'm not seeing what's on Albert Road. I'm going to try refreshing it.
Okay. Yeah, you could basically all you need to know is that you could take an attack and move and get to the next door to get out of this hallway, and to keep moving
Yeah, let's get out of this hallway.
towards where you want to go.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, I want to get us out of this hallway if I can.
All right. So go. You can either do this. You can take an attack on this guy, or you can run down the hall and open the door. Otherwise, you can take an attack and then run to the end of the hall and sort of wait there with the door closed.
I'm better at opening doors, so I'm going to do that because I believe we did it as an intellect roll of me, like, hacking the door, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so I'd like to do that.
All right. Yep,
The target number here is 48 with intellect.
Okay.
I'll run down the hall and do that.
21.
21.
Yep. So yeah, you get down there and you start quickly hacking into the system, and the door opens up. The rest of you see this. RT, I believe it's your turn. You watch as Yale races down, and it would behoove me to also do this.
No, damn it. Doesn't it happen at the end of the turn? I feel like it.
Oops.
happens-
Oops is right. You start to hear the pop as more of these slime moths start to wriggle their way out. It's going to take them a turn to get out of these bodies, but these bodies apparently were just incubatoriums for these creatures. What do you do, RT?
Do I know what's above me, what that door goes to?
You don't.
I don't. Okay. Okay. He's lost it, so he's gonna tuck his hammer into his belt and reach out and try to grab this moth by its tail and use it as a club to hit the dead guy.
Nice.
Hopefully killing two things with one blow.
All right. I love it. Give me a combat check as you're going to use this slime moth as a weapon.
Do I have an advantage? I'd like an advantage. Can I have an advantage?
I don't know if you have one.
I don't know that
Can
I have
I
one.
give him mine?
Sure. You can give him yours.
Cool.
Yeah, because I want you to like smack this guy with the moth thing. I think that's rad. You can have
Right.
mine.
What happened to your great rolling, RT? Oh, Jesus.
Well, no critical fails, but
You
a
used it
fail.
all up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at this point, seeing what's happening, everybody take a point of stress,
Yeah.
because this is not good. This is not good at all.
The second half of tonight's stream, everybody, you'll hear us do a campaign wrap-up where we talk about our Mothership game.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's where we talk about this would be a great platform to play this kind of game.
Yeah. If you want,
So I can't see the stream. So what stress am I at now?
you are at 6.
6.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're at 6.
fine.
Dimitri's at 7, and RT is at 5. My unconscious body's at 3.
Well,
Wow, you're resting. You're getting so much. You're getting beauty
That's it,
sleep.
baby. That's
This
it.
is great.
Oh my God.
Power nap.
RT, why didn't
He's
you
gonna-
run?
he's gonna move.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Just however far he can get.
You can get all the way down there. This is all kind of within that same zone. So you can get down to the door. You race up to where Yael is, just having opened the door, and you look back and you can see Dimitri up against one of these creatures. You can see in the hallway there are bodies strewn about. Each of them has this pustule that looks like it's about to, well, it has popped, and there are these things wriggling out like maggots with wings that are starting to wriggle out of the bodies. And
He's gonna look at Yael and go, as he wipes his hand that had touched the slug thing. We're all gonna die.
Well, we're certainly gonna try not to. She's saying as she's like hacking the door.
Beautiful. All right. These things are going to chase you.
Yep.
This one is going to chase as well, coming at you down the hallway. RT, you're the first one that they're going to attempt to attack. So we'll start with the slime moth. This is a cool name. 92 is not going to hit. And the undead mine worker, a 63
Yes.
is not going to hit. So they both miss. Dimitri, the one that is attacking you is going to try to get you. But a 68 is not going to hit you guys. Yeah, you're doing it. But these other creatures, more of these slime moths are about to emerge. Dimitri, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I have determined that going forward is no longer an option. So I may have to drag Hayes back through the back door that we came. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack first, and then drag Hayes back through the door. Is that
Okay.
possible?
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead
right,
and
so-
take a combat roll against this creature in front of you.
I'm trying to think what I want to attack with. Do I want to stay with a knife or try an improvised weapon? What do I know about these creatures so far? I mean, obviously it's just like an undead thing coming at me. Obviously this creature is transfixed on me and not prone to noises or distractions or anything like that, right?
It seems to be very focused on you, and none of these creatures have paid any attention to Hayes.
Duly noted. So I'm going. How hurt does it look? Does it look like I'm winning,
Yeah.
or I need to get the F out?
Yeah, you got it good. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't seem to have any sort of like self-preservation instinct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something different because I don't know if this knife is helping. So I am going to take out a flare and I'm going to ignite it while putting it in its mouth and then kick it down the hallway.
Okay. Give me a combat roll. This is cool.
Let's see if the dice think it's cool.
I'm sure they will agree.
No.
You pop the flare in its mouth, and it just kind of looks at you, and you try to kick it, but it doesn't quite move. You don't quite make contact with it to kick it down the hall, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Well, then in that case, it's time to exit stage right while pulling Hayes through the door.
So I will give you this. I will give you one option here.
Okay.
Now, I will say that if you can totally escape back through the door, I'll give it to you. You can get back into the incinerator room or wherever's beyond. We'll call it just hallway.
Okay.
However, if you want to try for it, I will give you a speed check to grab Hayes and race down the hall towards your friends in cinematic style as these pustules are opening up and these moths are climbing out and like unfurling their wings to take their first flight. So if it's high stakes, so if you fail, it's not good. But if you succeed, it's, potentially going to help save your friends and yourself. What do you want to do?
I see that. Dimitri will look down upon Hayes, look at the door, look down upon Hayes, look down the hallway of death and the cronish undead hag that's staring at me with a flare in its mouth. Look back down.
Oh, you have an advantage from wandering.
Oh. I will pick him up like Samwise motherfucking Gamgee and pick him up and I will run carrying him through the hallway of doom.
Hell yeah. Come on, man. This is it.
Let's see this works.
No.
It's like, here we go.
Come on.
What am I rolling? Combat?
Speed.
Speed.
Yep, and you have advantage.
I wish I was rolling combat. I would have made it. All right, speed is only a 43. I made a 44.
Oh.
Let's see if this advantage comes in.
Come on. God damn it.
$47. Oh my god. Oh man. Well.
Oh,
man.
Dimitri,
my
no. No.
Oh, damn it. All right, so Dimitri and Hayes.
I mean, there are some advantages coming in. I don't know.
Oh man, that was tense.
Oh boy.
Yeah, can we have triple advantage?
No,
I don't think you can have triple advantage.
you can't. So RT and Yael, you watch as Dimitri grabs Hayes and just starts running down the hall with him as these slime moths emerge.
I'm gonna throw him.
And they all see Dimitri and Hayes coming down the hall, and they're going to converge on them. However, it's not their turn yet. It is RT's turn. RT, you look back and you can almost not see your friend through this. And none of these moths are taking notice of you and Yael yet. They all are bursting forth, flying into the air, and seeing the commotion to the east with Dimitri running down the hall. What are you going to do? It doesn't look good for them.
Okay, he's going to attempt to jury rig. So he's going to attach his hammer to the 6-pack of beer. Shake up the 6-pack of beer. Throw it using the hammer as sort of the weight to, when it lands, the beers will explode.
Explosive beers is what you're going with?
Yeah.
Aren't those like the last beers in the universe or something? Didn't we say that last time?
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Give me a jury rig roll.
Okay.
This is great. Just shower these things with beer.
All right. Yeah. Get to the roller.
A 3. All right, describe this for us, Tim. Exactly what happens, or like what you do.
Okay, so he just sees over the top of this floating slug thing that's in his face. Sees Dimitri and with Hayes, and he sees obviously Dimitri's not going to make it, and so he just whips the hammer out of his belt, and simultaneously drops the crowbar at his feet, grabs the 6-pack of beer. As he's shaking up all 6 cans at once, he just creates a little wire hook, hooks the hammer to it, and chucks it. And it looks kind of like, you know, those German grenades from World War II, where it's like a long stick with a head on top. The head on top is the beers, and the hammer is the long handle, and he chucks it. And his aim is to loop just over Dimitri's head and land behind him, and explode all of these beers so that beer goes everywhere on the emerging moths. And who knows what that does, but something. He's just coating the entire hallway in beer.
I've been at parties
You're
like this
just
before.
getting
I know
everybody
exactly what
drunk.
happens. Yeah, exactly. All right,
So-
give me a combat roll. Let's see if this has an effect. We'll say this: if you succeed, which you did, a 1, very nice.
Wow.
So what that does is that will provide an advantage for Dimitri's next turn on whatever he decides to do with Hayes. It kind of like essentially like buys him some sort of a split second, I don't know, advantage over these things as they're showered with beer. I don't know, because it sounds cool. I love it. All right.
And then he will block Yael from the 2 attackers.
And just by the way, the door is open, like beckoning you to continue on towards your destination.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't more of these creatures in other hallways, but you got to get to the. Well, now, hey, at least you've solved one problem. You may not need to get to the med bay anymore.
I
Right.
mean, yeah,
There
if
you
they
go.
eat
Yeah.
Hayes, then
Wow.
Yeah, that's too soon. All right, so basically what happens here is RT. These guys are going to try to attack you.
Don't I go after your RT?
the monsters do.
The monsters do, and then you and Dimitri are after the monsters.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep, no problem. All right, so RT. First, it's going to be the zombie monster. This guy's going to come at you. A 23 is going to hit. God, you guys. And let's see what they do. Is going to grapple you. So it comes on and it grabs you. You'd have to make a strength check to get out of its way. The slime moth is going to similarly attempt to attack you with a 23. Oh, this could be the end. This is the shortest finale in Mothership history. Probably not, actually. Another blinding flare. Give me a sanity save, RT. And maybe if you can, narrate for us just a glimpse of some memory that it elicits from you.
So this time it's as though he's out of his body. He's outside of his corporal shell and is somehow viewing from outside the inside of the shuttle as the woman he whose eyes met his, her and the rest of the people that were with her are screaming in agony as fire begins to consume them. And he's just kind of watching it from a window that can't possibly be him because it's up in space, like in the atmosphere. So, yeah.
Give me a
That's where
sanity
he's
save,
at.
my friend.
Failed.
Oh, no.
All right.
All right,
There
so
we
you're up to
go.
6.
Yep.
All right, so then it comes down to the gauntlet. Oh, Dimitri. Oh, Dimitri.
Dimitri still have fun. We can do this.
These things are surrounding you.
Wait, Dave, I have a different. This is so not. You can just throw this away, but just a thought. If the zombie with the flare in her mouth runs after Dimitri, does the flare ignite the beer?
Wow. Well, you know what? Those types of questions can only be best brought down to a roll of dice.
Get in the comments and tell Dave to let us.
I'm actually like trying to give you guys as many opportunities as I can to
I
survive.
know.
But this isn't looking
Yeah,
good.
no.
No, this is all his fault. We didn't do anything wrong.
No.
What I want Dimitri to remember is, in a situation like this, you don't have to be faster than these creatures. You just have to be faster than me. So
That's true. Faster than the
Also,
slowest guy.
I feel so discombobulated because I feel like I haven't gone in so long. So I'm just like standing here with the open door while all of this is happening.
Yeah.
Did you get missed in the lineup, do you think?
she may have.
You may
You
have.
may have.
It's possible because Dimitri is going now, and Dimitri did the whole
Right?
run thing,
All right, let's.
and I haven't gone.
I agree.
before.
I agree. We haven't seen you shine. So what would you like to do before these things converge and attack your friend?
She shuts the door. No.
Exactly. That's what I would
Yeah,
do.
I shut everybody in here by themselves. Is there? So when I'm opening this door, I'm like using the panel on the side or whatever. Is there anything else I can do to like, I guess, shut down this hallway in some way? Like, is there a way to like give Dimitri some kind of advantage by like, I don't know, making the lights really bright? Because it seems like these things do a lot of stuff with light. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reaching because I'm desperate.
Yeah.
But
Do you have anything that would allow you to help trigger the flare that's in the mouth of this zombie that's running in? Because I like Tim's idea. I think it's zany but also plausible, which is the scariest combination.
I could throw my cybernetic diagnostic scanner at it. I don't.
I mean,
have a-
it's an electrical device. You could pitch the electrical device at this thing. Sure. If you wanted to do that, you totally could. You could use a combat roll to do that.
All right. Well, our target
trying
number is
everything.
38.
We're trying everything.
Literally trying everything, and then I will step through the door. At least I'm not in this room anymore. That is
Oh.
a 47, so that's a fail. So
Yep.
it just smashes on the ground.
All right.
It wasn't useful anyway because there's no androids here, I say, as I smash it on the ground.
Yeah. No shit. All right. So these things are converging now on Dimitri. Dimitri, you look down at Hayes. Hayes is just kind of laying there, staring blankly. You do recall that he does have a stim pack in his kit.
Okay.
Because he had mentioned that to you before. I don't know if that's going to help you very much here, but you do have a bunch of these things converging on you,
Now,
unfortunately.
am I? I know I wasn't able. Am I still kind of carrying him, but I'm in the hallway and surrounded?
Yes.
But he's still.
Yep, you've got him sort of like, I think I would sort of envision you've got him kind of over your shoulder, or you've grabbed him and put his arm around your neck and you're holding him by like his belt and you're dragging him across. as
Right.
these things are sort of coming in at you.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, because this may be my last round, is since I have him over my shoulder, I'm going to drop him floomp on the gurney. I'm going to push the gurney towards the end of the hallway while taking out, because I have 2 more flares, and I'm going to take out the flare, put it over my head, and go, hey! And to capture and ignite it while everyone is, to keep everyone's attention on me. And then on my other hand, I'm going to take out my rebreather, which is attached to an oxygen tank. And I'm going to connect them together. And, you know, after he's got past the door, just pushing the gurney, so he's kind of in a coma, slip and slide. Whee! Then I'm going to, boom.
To ignite, basically ignite the
right, to
flare.
ignite the rebreather, the oxygen tank. And so I will do that. And just go it's the old way.
Shit.
Wow. All right. Let's see.
What shall I roll?
What do you tell me? What do you think you should roll?
Well, let's see. I do have industrial equipment. It could be industrial
You have
equipment.
military
it could be
training?
combat. Military training. Yeah, it could be one of those. Hey, you don't have any landmines, but a tank's coming your way. Kind of improvised explosion.
Yeah. Yep. I like it. Military training. Let's do it. So make sure you add that to your target.
So that's plus 10.
Wow. I really hope you succeed on this.
I know. Here we
My
go.
palms
'Cause
are sweating.
I can only make so many scenes. This one doesn't
Right.
work. Then I'm just.
Yeah, this is. Come on, Dimitri.
All right. So I know I'll get the plus 10 for the military training. What am I rolling? Am I just rolling the 2d10s?
Yep. You're gonna. So you get your. Let's see. It's military training, so you add your skill bonus to probably your combat.
Combat.
Yep.
Okay. Here goes.
Come on. 42.
I made it. That makes it 32. My combat is 46.
Finally. All right. So you push the gurney. It goes down the hall. Comes kind of like just coasting past RT as he's fighting off these 2 creatures, and it sort of like hits the wall next to Yael. Hayes atop. Dimitri, you fire off the flare, pop open the oxygen tank. Now, I would say you could use the oxygen tank to direct, because it's going to have a very focused. So you light the flare, the fire is burning, and you can use the oxygen tank, right? As almost
so it's like kind of like a flamethrower kind of thing.
So give me a, let's see.
And the space beer helps.
Just look at the walls.
All right. So
beer.
I will say this, because you succeeded on that combat roll, it deals 1 wound to all of the creatures around you.
Nice.
So they, let's see. They all take a wound, and they all fall to the ground, and they start flapping on the ground. They're not dead, but they are wounded. And it looks, I mean, you don't know, you've never seen these things before, but you get the sense that perhaps they could to rise up in their next turn. Do you want to do any movement at this point?
Yeah, I'm not waiting here to find out. I'm surprised I'm even alive. So we'll run my happy ass through this hallway of death, and just kind of clearing my way through until I can get out and turn my back and just one last go at it. I'm sure the oxygen's almost, if the oxygen's about to go out, then I'll probably just like chunk it like a grenade, just kind of see if the combustion will go through as the doors close.
Okay, so you guys are racing down. You get to the door. That was a clutch move because you knocked those things down for one wound. And as the 4 of you retreat through the doorway, you watch Dimitri, you turn to watch. You huck what's left of the canister back in there. It doesn't really do anything, just ting, 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 ting. But you watch as more pustules begin to pop. And you can see that the slime moths that you knocked to the ground with your improvised flamethrower start to come back up, and they turn towards you, and they're all flying towards the door as Yael closes the door and cuts them off. And you guys are, I wouldn't say safe. I think safe would be a stretch, but you guys have made it out of this hallway. Everybody give me a quick speed check. Actually, no, don't make it a speed check. Make it a fear check.
Fear, okay.
I have to make this check?
Yeah.
Cool.
And just let me know if you failed it.
I don't get it, I don't think.
You got a 34 on your roll, Rachel.
Yeah, my fear is 27. So.
Okay, so Rachel fail on the fear. Anyone else fail?
I failed.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dimitri, you're back up to 8. Hayes?
Hayes passes with a 26. His fear is a 45.
You can't shake Hayes
We
even when
fit
he's dead.
together, though.
RT?
Failed.
Okay. All right, my friends. You make your way down the corridors, headed towards the med bay, wounded, injured, frightened. There is something more advanced than just undead miners. There are creatures that are breeding inside of them, or are at least pupating inside of them, let's say. But nevertheless, you make your way.
Word.
I know, it's disgusting. You make your way to the med bay, and you get to the med bay. You open the doors up, and you get inside the med bay. And this is where we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have our Marine, Corporal Hayes, will be conscious, having been taken care of with some medicines in the med bay. And then we'll decide where you guys want to go to next as we try to figure out whether or not you're going to survive this place or die trying, and what might happen in between. Thank you guys for a very unexpected, difficult combat, and some really good ideas to get your asses
Awesome
out of
stuff.
there. Yeah, that was really, really smart, and that's
Thanks
what we love
for
about
all
this.
the inspiration from the audience, too.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
Sure. Would
You guys
not be here without it. For sure.
No, you
Speaking
definitely
of
wouldn't
wandering,
be.
endlessly wants us to remember that everyone got an advantage from Bleak. I don't know if those were used up or not, but that's what the
yeah.
chat says.
Oh.
So
Thank
All
you
right.
very
I think so.
much, Bleak, and thanks for the reminder, Wandering. We will be back in just 5 short minutes. Hang out, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, you guys. Great stuff. Really, really fun. Hey,
Or 99.
anything could happen. Hey, we're back,
Hey,
everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out as we delve into this crazy Mothership RPG. We're super jazzed to be playing this for the first time on Guild Superior, and we've got a great cast of people who are in dire straits. Thanks to the cast for being awesome and leaning into the madness and the terror. And also thank you to our chat buddies who have been hanging out with us and helping them out every step of the way, whether that is helping the story out, really, whether that is providing inspiration and advantages to folks, or triggering panic checks, which have been just like so well placed. I couldn't have done it better myself. So thanks for co-game mastering with me. I really appreciate that, you guys. We're going to jump back into this. Now we are going to move forward in time just a smidge, just a tiny little bit, as the party has made their way to the med bay. Our scientist, Yael, also very well versed in field medicine and the like, has been able to pump Corporal Hayes full of medicine and stim packs to give him an opportunity to come to consciousness. Feeling
This
uneasy.
should wake you up, you old bastard, as she's like pumping adrenaline into him.
And he just wakes up.
If you wanted to dance, sweetheart, you just had to ask.
No,
I think he's delusional.
Sit rep.
That's a
What's
weird-
going on?
There's no dancing. Anyway, never mind.
Situation report. Dimitri, what's happening?
The situation is we're fucked. This particular colony, this mining facility is completely overrun. We need to create an evacuation plan. We are barely hanging on. I'm surprised you're even alive. We've done everything to get you here. Now we need to get some weapons, and we need to get out.
What's the situation with the crawlers?
not as immediate as you'd think. More like slimy slug things that spit goo and give you terrible visions.
We need to get out of here.
Doctor, how much time do we have, do you think?
I have no idea. I just know our best bet is to load up with as much weapons as we can, because just now while you were unconscious, we tried to use a gurney and a oxygen mask as our weapons. So I think perhaps maybe getting a gun would be helpful for all of us if we're going to shoot our way out of this place. But I guess I'm at a point now where what is happening here is so out there. It's so unlike anything I've ever seen. And I'm concerned that this is spreading. And I don't know what this is, and I think my biggest concern is, even if we get out, what if something comes with us, or what if someone else lands here and doesn't know because the comms are out what a shit show it is down here.
Doctor.
I feel like, and feel free to disagree, Corporal, because obviously you disagree with me about everything, but I feel like we need to blow this fucking place to the sky and never come back.
I agree with the doctor.
But before we even go to that, and Dimitri will put his hand on Hayes. Look, you need to run scan on Hayes, because we saw things coming out of bodies, and I want to make sure that we are not carrying one of these with us. So, and I pull out Hayes' knife, looking at his chest, and it'd be
whoa.
I agree with what you're saying.
You
but
need
I'm-
to run scan now.
No, I'm fine.
I've got like my hands on Dimitri's hands.
I'm fine.
I can
I've been fucking inoculated.
What?
From what?
Oh,
There was a mission about a year ago. It's what brought me to the attention of Green Star. I was with a group, and it was a salvage mission. We were sent to go find a derelict ship, bring it back, and we saw these fuckers there.
You saw the flying slug things.
I start pulling open my fatigues shirt, and I pull it open, and you all see that I've got a pretty gnarly scar just below my left pectoral, like where my rib cage would be. It's just below where my heart is. And I say, one of them killed the rest. They found me, and there was some fucked up shit, and the doctors, they inoculated me. I'm sure Yael, you're real all about your mission, and you're all about knowing things. I'm sure you saw that half my file is completely redacted.
I haven't seen shit about your file, Corporal. This is the first time hearing about all of this.
Well, That's what it is, I guess. It's need to know basis, and you didn't need to know, apparently. Just like I didn't need to know that you were here for something besides just making sure the shipments got back on track.
I think Yael takes a second, and you see her, she like touches the scar. And what is she, I would ask, like, what does she notice about it? Like, does it seem more like a bite mark? Does it seem like a scratch?
It looks like a puncture wound that's been healed over, so the skin is like marred and an off color.
Yeah, I think she would touch it briefly, fascinate, and then pull her hand away.
Your hands are cold.
And be like, fine, whatever. That, obviously, it's a miracle you survived. I mean, that's so close to your heart. Did it leave you alive on purpose? Are you...
We're all alive for a purpose.
Are you a carrier of whatever this is?
Fact is, like I said, I've been inoculated. I would have turned by now if there was anything going on. So we're fine. We just have to get the fuck out of here. But I actually agree with the doctor. Nothing's getting off this fucking base alive.
Wait. Somebody write this down. Somebody record this.
I think you're the only one with a notebook.
Right. Put it down.
I write it down in the notebook. Agreed with me? ? And I'm gonna reduce one of my stress by using my notebook.
Nice.
So
what am I at now?
You're at 6.
Down to 6.
So here's what we do.
We'll flip back the knife and hand it back to Hayes.
I take
his
it.
Knife.
I wipe it off.
Okay.
My pants.
First of all, like you two can like have your whatever missions or whatever, but like inoculated, like you knew we were coming into this shit. Is that what you're saying, Corporal?
I knew they suspected that things were here. I was supposed to talk with someone on site. When we arrived and shit was already foobar, I was not aware that it was going to be that bad.
How bad were you thinking it was going to be?
I was told they had caught one.
Caught one?
Caught one for study. I was supposed to get a sample to bring back as part of the shipment to be smuggled in. And it was need to know, so none of you were supposed to know. But here we are.
Well, Corporal, if you want a sample, like, just, I can show you a hallway.
Oh, no, we're fucking way past that.
Okay.
Like you said, we got to get the fuck out of here. And like the doctor said, nothing's leaving this fucking rock except
yeah,
us.
I'm gonna blow this stack.
Yeah, we're done. So here's what I suggest. We divide and conquer. Dimitri, you and the doctor make your way back to the ship, get it primed and ready. RT, you get me to the armory. I can get you down to the reactor core. You can work your magic. You haven't had too many drinks, have you?
Actually, he blew up all of his beer, so I think he's pretty sober. We're all very sober.
Could we split up after the armory? I do need some more shotgun shells. So.
Yeah.
Well, RT, you have the layout of the base. How close is the armory from here?
I remember it being pretty close.
Looking at the GM.
Yeah, you accessed your hand terminal, and it's kind of cracked from all of the chaos and everything, and it's sort of flickering in and out. But you do have, if you recall, you downloaded or received the data transfer of the layout, so you can see that the armory is not very far from the med bay.
Okay.
But it's in the opposite direction of the hangar where your ship is.
Of course it is.
Is it the opposite direction of the reactor?
It's in the, so you pull up where the reactor is, and the reactor is on a sub-level just below the main level that you're on. So it's kind of in the ground a little bit of this asteroid, but it is near, it's kind of near the, not near the hangar. It's more near the armory. So it's kind of in that general area of the hangar is kind of on the outskirts of the rim of this, almost like, think of like a bike wheel with like spokes coming out of it. And the hangar is on the edge of the tire, and the reactor and the armory are closer to the hub. the axle. Yep.
Dimitri, weren't you in the vents briefly earlier?
Yes, I was in the vents. Yes.
Maybe Dimitri and I can go through the vents to try to get back to the
That's a good
hangar
idea.
without, going through the whole base. I mean, it's possible these things are in the vents too. I don't know, but
Well, if they're
it's
if they're in the
probably
vent,
better
we can
than
always,
whatever hallway we just came from.
we could always knock out of the vent if we need to.
And Dimitri, I did give you the plans with the vents highlighted.
So
even if, sorry, I wasn't going to say that, but just in case the doctor can like look at your.
yeah, Dimitri will hand over the data pad that shows the kind of vent map that was highlighted.
Cool. Yeah, I'll copy that over to mine and.
Okay.
Well, let's go talk
think
in
that-
armory. I need more weapon.
Yeah, let's go
I
shopping.
don't have any weapons, so I would love a weapon.
All right. So first of all, I want to, because I didn't get a chance to, because this is such a great RP. I want to give a shout out to Solution for the raid. Thank you so much, you guys, for raiding in. Great to see you all. Solution, we've been utilizing your maps quite a bit in the last couple of sessions. So thank you so much for being so damn creative.
The coolest maps. Oh
They're
my
so
god.
beautiful. Yeah, they're very beautiful. All right. So the four of you are going to make your way to the armory. Why don't you, let's see, let's take one of you and we will have you roll. Let's go with RT. Give me a speed check, RT, for the group as you are now. Give me a sense of how you're moving through the hallways. Now that you kind of know what's out there, do you have a strategy for how you're going to move to the armory as RT brings in a roll for us?
I think that Hayes would go in the front
Okay.
with RT right behind him, telling him where to go.
Okay.
Get the combat knife out in case anything happens.
RT,
Okay.
you have advantage too. We got an
Ooh.
advantage from Bleak we haven't used yet.
Good call.
That didn't help.
Did not help. Dimitri will take the rear
Okay.
Sweet.
with the gear.
And Doctor's in the middle there with RT. Okay, so the four of you are you come out of the med bay. Now you guys have, I'm assuming, maybe I shouldn't have assumed, but my guess is that you all grabbed stim packs and like
Yes, I was
injected
about to
yourself
say
and
this.
like you guys are back up, as we mentioned in the break. You guys bring yourself back up to full health. Although if you have sustained a wound, you still have that wound, so that wound does not heal. That takes a much longer healing process to do. You make your way through the hallways trying to get to the armory. There are, as you know, dead bodies strewn about. It's almost as if all of the mining workers in this whole place were suddenly just obliterated, strewn about in various locations, and then somehow are starting to come back to life. Some of them in their full corporeal form. Some of them are coming back to life in the form of these flying slime moths that are bursting forth from their chests and their faces, these pustules that are like vibrating and bursting. But nevertheless, you guys run through. I would say that because you failed the check, I would like each of you to make a quick, let's do a speed check, or no, let's do a body save for everybody. And if you fail, you're going to take a little bit of damage as you're racing down towards the armory, trying to get there. So let me know if you failed. You failed? Okay.
I failed.
Okay.
I failed.
Okay. So here we go.
RT's fine.
Okay. So you will take,
RT's like leading the way, and the rest of us are just getting
Look
wrecked.
you all take 1 health point damage. And you guys get to the armory door. The armory door is locked. And as you get to the door, all right, so you're going to try to muscle it. You can see in the hall as you're making your way through. You've taken a little bit of damage as you've worked your way to this place. You can see these pustules popping again as you're making your way down the halls, and you can hear the flutter of wings echoing down the halls as you get to the door. If you're going to try to crowbar it, give me a.
Well, first I'm going to look for if there's power to the door.
There is there's power to the door, but the door is locked. This is the armory. They keep it locked pretty heavily. So there's a security system on the door that you could try to hack. You could try to bypass it. You could try to muscle it. But again, it's the armory. You would expect that it would be fairly well secured. As you get to the door and you're considering exactly, and you're considering all this, you can hear and
let's just muscle it.
Things are moving. You're gonna try to hack
You
it?
want to muscle it?
Can we all help? No? You want me to hack it? All right,
Yeah,
I'll hack
hack
it
it.
right now.
Okay.
I'm doing the same thing I did to the door earlier.
Are you gonna use an advantage from Bleak?
I will use my advantage.
All right. Thanks, Bleak.
Oh,
shit.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
oh
Good.
my god, a
you-
99 would have been
That's
a
not
critical
good.
failure.
That would have been an extra door appears in front of it.
And instead I got a 52. Was I using my military training? Is that because it's intellect
let's see.
plus,
Let me look at your character sheet here.
Well, do you have computers?
I don't.
No,
Oh.
no, I don't think
right.
military training probably wouldn't apply here.
Yeah, so that's a fail.
So you
it
fail.
was a 52 instead of 48.
Everybody make a body save for me. We're going to kind of adjudicate this as with just body
no.
saves. As these creatures are
Someone
coming
needs
in
to
and attacking you, as you
muscle
can
this
try
thing.
again. Let me know if you succeed or fail. Or actually,
Fail.
just tell me if you fail.
Fail.
Fail, okay. All right.
I'm fine.
All right,
Fail.
so we'll give a, these are the zombers.
RT's hunky
It
dory.
would have been a succeed if it was my intellect roll,
All
but
right, so as this is happening, Yael, you don't get it, but you can try again. But as you're fighting this off, Hayes, you step forward and you've got the combat knife and you're trying to fend these things off. And one of these undead miner workers comes up and kind of grabs you and starts to grapple you, while the rest of you are starting to fend them off and try to help. And Yael, you're at the control panel. You want to give it another try?
yep.
Oh.
All right.
Oh god. All right, someone else needs to try something.
That means that
Just get the
now
door
a
open with the crowbar.
a second one comes up and grapples Dimitri as Dimitri is trying to push him back to give you some room to work. Another one comes up and grabs Dimitri. Now Dimitri and Hayes are grappled. You want to try
Our
again?
team-
Yeah,
See.
use the crowbar. Get in there.
Okay. See if I can finagle
Dice
something.
are so mean.
Yeah.
They really are.
Okay.
You really
I just
don't
want to
want
thank
us to
chat for not
succeed.
triggering a panic roll during any of this.
Okay.
Thank you, chat, for not.
Yeah, thanks, chat, and also thanks, Kevin, for reminding them that.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's a bit of a walk to get there, but because the security system is software, and RT has no chance of bypassing the
No.
software, his first thought is the crowbar, but then he's like, "Yeah, but that's not going to stop the software." So what he's going to do is he's going to turn off the power to the door to turn off the security so that then he can crowbar. So he wants to
Okay.
use mechanical repair to cut the power to the door
Okay.
and then use his crowbar maybe at an advantage with the security off.
That's a strong lobby right there. Give me a what did you say? A mechanical engineering
Mechanical
roll?
repair.
Mechanical repair roll. As
I don't
these
know what you're
creatures
talking.
as these creatures are coming in and attacking
My
your
intelligence is 40,
friends-
Kevin.
Yeah, he's got a high intelligence. Everybody is going to take a level of stress as this is happening because things
Oh,
are getting
no.
tight.
I want to take my combat knife and fight back against the undead that are coming up all up on me and on top of Dimitri.
Absolutely,
Can I say my military training aids me with this?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
No, that failed.
RT, you get electrocuted by the console as you're trying to turn the power off.
Yeah.
Jesus, guys.
All right, I'll try again. Jesus Christ.
I stab out at the undead with my combat knife, and it turns in such a way that when I stab into its neck and I flick out the side of the neck, that part of its neck was all loose already, so it doesn't do anything to it as I fail that roll. And I just kind of slice out the side, and I spin it in my hand, and I try to keep stabbing. I'm like, get the fucking door open!
Is anybody else making a combat roll? Dimitri, are you making a strength check to get out of the grapple or anything?
Yes, I'm going to try to use the shotgun that I have, and I'm just going to try to push him off me and just kind of whip it around.
All right, what kind of a roll do you want to make? Strength or combat? It's up to you.
I'll do strength because I'm more trying to pushing back.
Sounds good. And Yale, you're going to try again with the to try to hack the door?
I did a critical fail, I believe.
Oh no, is that a critical fail?
Is that a 66?
Yeah, it sure is. Oh, Dimitri. You know what that means? I need a panic check, no. Dimitri. You have a 10 stress right now, so this should be fine for you.
Hey, remember your class gives you an advantage once.
And I just remembered that with our stim packs that we all just took, we all have advantage on strength and combat rolls right now. For 2 to 10
that
minutes.
means I would have had advantage on that 66. So
Adam's doing an intellect roll.
So
and Hayes would have had advantage too.
Yeah.
And I make the strength with the advantage of the stim
You
pack,
lucky son of a gun. All right.
And
I
Hayes
still fail with my advantage though.
Okay. And Hayes, you still failed?
He's coked up. Like,
All right. So Dimitri, you're able to like push this thing off of you and kind of free yourself from the grapple as Yael gets back to the console and give me
I take it out of RT's hands after he gets electrocuted. I'm like, give that back to me. And I'm going to roll.
And you can roll with advantage. So you got a 60 there, 70.
I don't think that's 70 because I think I messed up the dice.
Well, yeah. But you have advantage, so go ahead and roll again. That's way better, 46.
Does that make it though?
You tell me.
Yes.
It does?
48.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys. All right, the door, you guys start to backpedal in. Everybody gets in. Hayes, you're grappled by this thing. You tried to hack it. Give me another combat check or you can give me a strength check if you want to get out of the grapple.
Combat's way better. I'm gonna do combat.
All right, go for it.
With my military training too.
Come on.
I gotta roll below a 57. So the fact that I rolled 270 somethings before, that's a fail.
You have
With my
advantage.
advantage for the stim pack though, it's gonna be
Come on, stim pack, baby.
Yes.
3.
All right, yeah, you hack this thing and drop it down. You guys are all watching as he's like fighting off the last one and pulls in as these things come up to the door, and you close the door. You find yourself inside the armory.
That fucking sucks.
And we turn around and there's a dozen
throwers and
around in the armory's
All
empty.
of our eyes have like sunken into our faces. We're like, oh my God. So stressed.
So you guys look around. Yeah, you look around in here and you see that there is some armor, some light riot armor. There are 12 sets of them. So those give you an armor point of 4.
I'll take one.
Yeah.
Hell yes, I will.
Yep. So you guys have light riot armor. There are 2 SK-109 Seeker rifles. There are 2 Kano X9 combat shotguns.
Yes.
There are the military folks in the group would know the MOHAB units. They're mobile habitat units. There are a dozen of those. They're backpacks, so you could carry one potentially if you wanted to take one for some reason. There is a box of chem lights, which are like what do you call those things you take to raves when you're dancing? Yeah, glow sticks. There are 3 emergency beacons. Those are like personal beacons that you might activate if you were lost outside or injured outside the facility and needed help. There's a first aid kit. There's 1 set of infrared goggles. And there are 12 vac suits with a 1-hour oxygen supply. You cannot wear the vac suit in conjunction with the riot armor, though. You have to choose.
strap a vac suit to your back. Take it with you.
They're pretty heavy. Like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, they're pretty heavy. That would slow you
Aren't
down
there
considerably.
vac suits by the
There are.
So
hangar
what
bay
you guys
too?
know, is that once you hit the hangar, there's no atmosphere in the hangar, or at least not enough atmosphere that would allow you to breathe.
Right,
Damn.
but there are still extra vac suits in the room before you
The
get
airlock, in the airlock. Yep.
in the airlock. Yeah.
So, what does the combat shotgun do?
The combat shotgun is sweet. It is a 4-round weapon. So you would have 4 shots with it.
Okay.
It does 1 wound when you fire it, if you hit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. If you're firing it at long range, you do 1d10 damage. But if you're at close range, it does a wound. Pretty badass. That's what Dimitri
And
was
what
sporting.
what would we roll that with? That was a combat.
Those are combat rolls.
Combat.
Yep. So Dimitri, you
Okay,
could grab 4 shells for Mother Russia.
Okay.
And then I
Or-
might take the other
The other shotgun.
one.
Yeah.
Because I have a 38 combat. So
How
pretty
many
good.
shotguns are there?
There's 2 shotguns and 2 smart rifles.
What's
You want
a
to know
smart
about the
rifle?
smart rifle? Yeah, the smart rifles are cool. They're SK-109 Seeker. You've probably used these before, Hayes, in the military. They do a ton of damage. There's only 3 shots, but they do 1d10 times 10 damage.
Is it like a shot, like a sniper type rifle, where it's got a long time to redo?
It's two-handed. It's heavy. You know from your military training that you need to brace yourself or be prone when firing, or it could potentially knock you down. So if you take a shot with it while you're standing or running or something, you have to make a body save or be knocked prone. In other words,
Not
it has
for
a
me.
shitload of kick.
I'll take the 4 shot.
Yeah, I'll take one of the rifles. You said does 1d10 times 10?
Yeah.
What do we find in the way of explosives?
There are no explosives in here.
Ooh. Okay.
There are the vac suits, the goggles, the first aid kit, the 3 beacons, the chem lights, the Moab units, the shotgun, the smart rifle, and the riot armor.
Okay.
But you do
I'll
know
definitely
that
take the
from
big-
your background in mechanical engineering, RT, that there are things you could do to sabotage a reactor.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to, rather than strap explosives to it, I'm gonna have to actually rig it to blow.
Is there any extra?
Use its own energy to explode it. Okay.
Yeah. Is there any extra ammunition
Um,
besides what's in them?
I would say you probably have. I think there would be. I think there would be more ammunition. So I think you'd be able to toss in, a couple more clips for the Seeker rifle, and you could probably carry 2 or 3 more clips.
Okay.
We'll
What
say
about shotgun
3,
shells?
and each of the clips are 3 shots. So you've got 9 shots with it, plus the 3 that are in it. So you got 12 shots. That's a lot.
12 shots. I'm gonna
Yep.
make a
I
note
think
of that.
from the combat shotgun, you could probably it's loaded with 4 shells, and you could have 8 more shells, but you'd have to take time to reload. It's going to take you a round to reload.
So we've got you 2 taking the shotguns, Dimitri and Yael.
No, I
I'll
already
take
have
the
a
rifle.
shotgun.
Oh, you already have a shotgun.
I'm just reloading.
Yeah, so
my
I'm
shotgun.
taking one of them because also my body score is not very high, so I can't take the other one because that will just wreck me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So if you're just loading up with extra shells, I'll just take the 1 clip shotgun, and then you can have the extra ammo for yours. I don't plan on needing to use my gun because that means I'll be doing what I don't want to be doing.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
going with me, if you're shooting, chances are you're probably screwed anyway. So
Right. So
just
contingency
take
4
one.
shells.
Okay. And then I'll take 1 and then an additional 4 shells, so that I'll have
Yeah.
8.
Okay. So you guys keep
I'll-
track of that.
Yeah, I'll toss the first aid kit to the doctor as I put on the infrared goggles, or have it like over my head.
Okay. So we got this sweet montage of everybody like like putting clips in rifles and loading shells in their shotgun, putting on the goggles, grabbing the supplies.
Sam Raimi
I think
style.
it would really
Exactly.
show like how all of us have military training, and it's like even though we don't know who fought on what side, it's like we all immediately lock into that like military training. We're all loading up. It's like I would say probably not much is being said in this armory as we're doing this. We're just like grabbing what we need, trusting that the others are grabbing theirs, and it's almost like scary quiet.
For the
Just in
three of you.
zone.
Meanwhile, RT is chattering away, nervous,
Yeah.
no clue what's going on.
I got to help him reload his gun because
Dimitri is showing him how to use the shotgun.
Not pointed at someone.
Yeah. Just general
Keep your finger off the
disorganizing.
Right?
Yeah,
Unless you
exactly.
intend to pull the trigger. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So are we getting in the vac suits or are we getting in the armor?
I think
getting
that you
the
should take the armor and use the vac suits in the airlock.
Once we get closer to the airlock. Okay, yeah, we'll wear the armor.
I'll
armor.
stick in the vac
I
suit.
think we need the armor.
Yeah.
Does the riot armor have a riot shield?
There's no riot shield, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah,
Can I
but
make one?
it does give you you can probably jury rig something.
How
For
are you
shield.
gonna hold a shotgun and a shield at the same time, though?
That might
I'm
be
just thinking about
challenging.
with the splatter. I know. I'm just looking to see what's here.
Yep.
Just looking at my options. You could-
Just keep in mind that the
ride
light,
the shield
light
down,
armor
you
gives
know.
you has armor points of 4, so it will soak 4 damage. However, if you take more than 4 damage, it is destroyed
Ruined.
Yeah.
and no longer functions. Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. So what's
Okay.
the plan here, you guys? You've
right.
done this montage, Sam Raimi style. You've got weapons and armor and gear. You know that the clock is ticking, so to speak, on this place, based on largely all of these slime moths that have been hatching around the facility, and you know for a fact that they are deadly as hell.
yeah. So I don't think we should go out the door. Is there a vent in here?
There is a vent, but it is not like the other vents. Again, this is the armory, so it is highly
Right.
secure. So it wouldn't be accessible through a vent.
All right.
Can I like use my crowbar to open the vent?
You could try to.
All right.
I'll assist
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
Actually, hold on. Before you
Oh.
roll that, you already rolled.
But
Oh.
before I rolled,
Yeah.
I didn't roll.
No, I saw an 86. I
Damn it.
almost stopped you, but we'll go with it. You get in
I get
there and
electrocuted again.
No, you don't get electrocuted. I'm not that bad. I'm pretty bad, but I'm not that bad. Instead, you pop the hatch and in spills. No, I'm just kidding. You're not able to get. Yeah, I know. You're not able to get the anything open. It's just like this. It's a sealed vent that allows for air, but it doesn't allow you to get out.
Yeah.
And you
Well-
do take a level of stress, unfortunately.
Well, let's just make a direct approach then.
All right.
Everybody's aware of the plan, right?
Well,
Right.
this plan-
One thing before we go, and on the vent, he's gonna spray "I can't fix stupid" and take that stress away.
Nice.
Real
All
quick,
right.
Dimitri, you got a sec?
Real quick, RT, you got a sec?
Sure.
So Hayes will pull Dimitri aside. Ever tried by my brother?
Yeah.
That I thought that was my fault for a long time, and I carried that with me for a real long time. But I don't know. Almost dying earlier kind of maybe put things into perspective, and it's not my fault.
I'm sure it is not your fault.
It's not your fault either.
I think in life we always have an opportunity to make things right. And though I was not able to save Nadia, was able to save you.
Twice.
And maybe some way that means something.
Well, friend, and I'm gonna actually grab him. I'm gonna kiss him once on each cheek. It's I owe you, so you're getting off this rock.
We are all getting off this rock. I will get ship ready. You come back. I did not go through Hall of Death to watch you die.
I don't plan on dying. I'm just saying you're getting out of here. You're a good man, Dimitri.
As are you. And we will all make it out. Maybe not RT, but most of us will make it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the room, Yael's like, what do you think they're talking about? Ew. Come on, guys. Just because she's the only woman on the team.
Hey, we were about to make out. What?
They
you guys
just
are the ones
made out.
kissing in here.
Yeah.
You guys are the
we
ones
were the
kissing
ones
each
kissing.
other.
They were
Jeez.
kissing.
That's how we said
No, I was
goodbye.
gonna do like a smash cut to like Yael and RT on the other side, just being like, so what do you think they're talking about?
Nice.
I don't even go there.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, I don't know.
Oh,
why.
did they just
Yeah.
kiss each other?
I don't know.
That's kind of weird. Well,
I think. Yeah.
I was mostly just calling you over because he was calling over like us.
No,
to
yeah,
get
no,
meetings.
no worries.
But
Yeah.
I did want to say,
Oh, yeah.
as your superior, listen up,
Right.
soldier.
I know.
You're gonna
Soldier.
listen up, man.
Okay.
dude.
That works.
Do you like dude? We'll
Sure.
go with dude. Listen
Dude
up,
works.
dude. You got this shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything about reactors, but I know you know a lot about reactors. Just
Yeah.
stay in touch, and if you need anything from Dimitri and I, if we get to the ship, just let us know, okay?
Okay. Just like real quick.
Yeah.
So reactors kind of like just rule of thumb. If I screw up, like I hope you guys get away, but like basically if the hangar starts shaking, go. Like
Okay.
because we're not coming back.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Right. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Can I ask a question
good
before we go?
Yep.
Just like it's been bugging me since you came on board. What do you write in that notebook?
You see Yael opens the notebook, and you just see it's about halfway filled. So there's a lot of like names on it, but there's one page that like it's got the little ribbon on, and it's titled Corporal Hayes, and it just has like lines and lines and lines of complaints, including sexy little smile, super condescending, keeps assuming he's my superior, like all this shit. And she just says, this is how I vent because people fucking piss.
Oh.
Specifically that one. But you
No,
haven't made the list yet.
Oh well, Doc, like that personally, that makes me feel good. So thanks. One last question.
Another Jesus.
Sorry.
Fine.
Last one.
One more question, but
Last
then we
one.
really have to fucking go. Okay.
Okay. Do your legs always look like that good?
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
You look down and you see like
Just got at the boat.
that Yael's cargo pants have been ripped to shreds. Her legs are so cut up from all the damage she's taken by these things grabbing at her ankles. You can like see like these really nasty wounds that probably aren't gonna ever heal. She looks at her legs and looks at you and she's like, fuck man, you really need to get laid by somebody because that is just embarrassing. And she like claps on his shoulder and walks away.
Hey, thanks, Doc. Appreciate it.
And meanwhile, Dimitri and Corporal Hayes were doing that that kind of hand grab. Well, what Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, you know, from like Predator, with
Yeah.
like super bicep, like
Oh, so
let's go.
manly.
Manly as fuck. Yeah.
Let's go kill some shit.
All right then.
Awesome.
Sir,
Okay, Corporal. Let's do this.
sir, may I have a moment with you?
Me?
No, I'm just talking to IL.
Oh,
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm sir now?
That's what
We
you
don't-
demanded on a previous episode. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go
Look,
over
Corporal,
here.
Yeah, I'm
That's an
going to
episode.
go
we don't
look
have
outside.
time, all right?
Perhaps there's.
We don't
that's
have time. Good luck, okay?
Okay.
I'll look after her. She'll be fine.
Your special rock's not gonna make it.
What special
Fuck
room?
that rock. Because it fucked up Garcia and literally everything else.
What
so,
happened to
fuck
Garcia?
That
that.
rock. Oh.
Well, thanks for the fun time. You know, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah,
Let's
you're
go,
welcome
RT.
for saving you earlier from your coma. So you're welcome. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Well, yeah.
Right. Good luck, Dimitri.
Good luck, RT.
You'll be fine.
All right, let's fucking go. Let's do this.
Let's get this fucking over with.
All right,
right.
so in like SWAT team style, you guys bust out of the armory. You know, crack a couple of these things across the face with your weapons. You've got your armor on. You blast through. RT and Hayes going left, while Dimitri and Yael go right. Each of them heading in different directions to implement some level of plan here. Let's start with Dimitri and Yael.
Okay.
You are heading back
was worried you'd
towards.
say that.
I know you guys are heading back towards the hangar. So both of you give me some. Let's get some speed checks for me, please.
Okay.
As you're making your way through, you've got to traverse these hallways where there are creatures emerging and grasping and trying to attack.
Ooh. I got it.
I did not.
That's a 14, which is a success.
14, and what'd you get, Dimitri?
51.
51. Okay, because you got one success, you do get accosted, Dimitri. Something grabs you and starts to get into combat with you, but because you've got your partner there, you're able to kind of power through as you make your way to the doors that go into the hangar, right? Or actually the doors that get to the airlock that gets to the hangar. Okay. Meanwhile, RT
Oh man,
and
that thing got your legs. You should have gotten zip off pants like me.
You know,
exactly.
Next time.
Do those zip off pants for the win right there.
Hell yeah.
Meanwhile, Hayes and RT, you guys are going to make your way to the reactor, which is down the hall. And then based on the schematics that you have, RT, you have to go down this, an elevator, which is inoperable right now, but there's a stairwell that goes down. Give me yourselves some speed checks as you are also trying to avoid engagement. One of you has to succeed to make this work.
I succeeded.
I
23 under my
succeeded.
33 speed.
You both succeeded. Okay, great. So you make your way down. You take out some of these things as they're coming at you. You dip down an alternative route to avoid like some of these flying slime moths that are coming down the hallway. You dip down and take a different way across. You've got their hand held out, RT, and you can see like it's sort of like glitching because it's been smashed so many times, but you can still see where you're going, and you make your way to the core itself. So I'm going to jump into a map here that I have of a core, sort of like reactor core representing anyways. Let me bring that up. All right, let me bring it up for the
This is so
folks that are
awesome.
watching. Yeah, these maps are so damn good.
Yeah.
Um,
Very slick.
Yeah, we've been using
Damn.
maps from a couple of different sources, both cyber maps and solution maps. So thank you guys so much for making these rad maps. I just put some comments or some links in the chat. You can go check out solutions maps. It's so damn good.
These are amazing.
All right, so you guys walk down this corridor, down these stairwells, and you get to this space, and you can see that there's this reactor in the space. Now, this whole area, as you walk in, you can see is covered in what can only be best described as pods. It's as if the energy, and you can see that there's still like this pulse of energy and a sort of a crackling of electricity on this thing, but it seems to be getting absorbed by these pods that are adhered to the sides of it and adhered to the floor all around you. As you get to the space, you see that it is, I don't know, a hive of some sorts, almost as if they're feeding off the energy of this reactor. What are you guys gonna do?
I mean, it's tiptoe time, right, Corporal?
Yeah. How much time do you need?
How much time do we have?
I asked you first.
I can go as fast as I can go, Corporal.
That's what she
If it
said.
comes to it, I can just push the button and we both go.
No. Do what you got to do.
Okay.
Make it quick though.
As fast as I can.
All right, so Hayes or RT, what are you gonna try to do?
Make my way carefully through the field of hive to the reactor controls and begin enacting repairs that are detrimental to the integrity of the core.
Okay.
Hayes is going to stay right where he's standing.
Okay.
And as he gets his rifle ready, we're going to notice that his hand is shaking a little bit. So he flexes it to steady it. There's black veins around the back of his hand. And he just steadies himself. Takes a deep breath. And starts looking around at the hive. And his sweat just pouring down the sides of his face.
Now, Corporal Hayes doesn't normally have black veins on the backside of his hands, does he? Okay. No. This is something different.
Yeah.
All right, so RT, you're going to try to make your way to the reactor. Give me, this is a tense moment. So you're going to try to carefully pick your way through this field of pods, of these eggs that seem to be pulling energy, perhaps, off of this thing. And you can also see at this moment that there's just this dust, like floating in the air. It's almost like as it's resuspended and then it sort of sinks and then it's resuspended in the air. Give me a, let's call it a body save as you're trying to get through this field.
That's not good. That's my weakest roll. Nope.
Fail.
96.
Okay. Give me a fear save. As you look down as you just barely brush against one of the pods and it starts to...
Come on. Right. There we go.
It's like pulsing as if it's going to open. Is that another failure?
That is an 80. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
You can see this thing start to crack open, much like the pustules that were festering on the bodies. And you can see something moving inside of it. And you know what?
That means I'm just going.
Just because it's kind of that time of the night, give me a panic check.
Both of us or just him?
Both. Thanks for telling me that. You are also feeling it.
That's rolling above our stress, right? That's
Roll above your stress. Should be fine. You have a 5 stress right now, Ken. Yeah, you guys are fine.
Yeah.
All right, so you start to make your way across. RT, you probably get about halfway here. And you start to watch, you and Hayes, you see these things are starting to open up.
Right. And so as soon as one starts to open, he's just going to beeline it. Like,
Just run
No
across.
longer- yeah. No,
All right.
like doing his best not to run over them, but like going.
Yep. All right. Yeah. You run past them as best you can, sidestepping, maybe coming, bringing in sort of your like athletic training at some point in your life. I don't know, but you get to the reactor, and that is when I'm going to start this timer.
Okay.
You have a certain amount of time to do this before all of these pods begin to erupt. Now, some of them are going to start to open, but the mother load is not going to open until this timer sets down. So as you brush past the first, give me a D4 roll, RT.
A what roll?
A D4.
A D4. Okay.
Yep.
Four.
That's not what you wanted.
Of course not.
Of course, it's not what you wanted. Oh, jeez.
All right. As 4 of these pods open up, please, both you and Hayes roll a speed check as we get into initiative here.
I fail with a 97.
Oof.
I forgot I have an advantage, or I would have used it.
Oh yeah, I would have used it. I still failed.
Well, at least it wasn't a critical fail. Hayes and RT, you both take a level of stress, and I need you to make a panic check.
Oh my gosh, am I at 10? Is that where I'm at?
11.
11.
And
Damn.
Hayes is at 6. Oh,
Hayes is fine.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
RT.
Oh no,
Failed.
we have our first panic table. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Ooh.
This is cool. All right, so panic table it is. Let's see, where's my panic table? There it is. All right, so you rolled a 4.
Yep.
All right, you are overwhelmed. All actions that you take are at disadvantage for the next 1d10 minutes. So give me a d10 roll. And you gain 1 point of stress as a result.
9 minutes.
All right, so for the next 9 minutes, you are overwhelmed, and everything you do is at disadvantage, all your checks, all right?
Okay.
Which is not
And now I'm
great.
at 12 stress. Great.
You're at 12 stress. Hey, our first panic. Congratulations, RT.
What?
Congratulations, buddy.
We gonna die.
All right,
Okay.
so you guys both failed your speed checks, is that correct?
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
their turn first. Okay. 2 of them are going to peel off towards URT, and 2 of them are going to move towards Hayes. We'll go with the ones attacking Hayes first. These, my friends, that are popping out of this thing are the crawlers that you saw on the surface.
Oh,
These are the
no.
crawlers. They have been attracted to this energy source and have been essentially, something has been laying eggs. You guys don't know what has been laying the eggs, but something's been laying eggs at this energy
So
source.
this makes sense that I'm overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. So the first one is a 16. That is going to be a hit. Yep, that's a hit from the crawler. Let me roll a d6 to see what it does to you, Hayes. It is going to get down and just growl at you. Please make a fear save as it menaces you.
Yep.
Second one is going to make an attack at you as well, Hayes. And I think I rolled a your fear save failed, it looks like.
It did.
And then I rolled a fail on the second creature, so it misses you. Let me just bump you up to 7 here.
I sent
And
you a
then,
message too, by the way, Dave. Just FYI.
okay.
I'm not sure if that
All
does
right.
anything or not.
Yep. And then RT, one of them is going to attack you. First one. A 29 is a success, I believe. Yes, success. Let me roll to see what it does.
Don't roll a 2.
No. Oh,
You rolled 2.
oh my God. Oh, okay. Here's what I'm going to do is you have a body save to avoid
Yep.
this. So
Is
give me
this
a
the
body save.
Getting paralyzed again?
Yep,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Oh my god.
Do you have any advantages before you make this roll?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think you would know
Okay.
if you did.
2. Holy shit.
All right. Roll a d10 for me.
Oh my god.
So you half of
You're
this
lucky.
d10. So for 4 rounds you are paralyzed. Which is
Wait.
better than the 10.
But I completed my body save.
Yeah, so you only do half.
Oh, so it only does half.
Yeah, the effect is halved.
I can't believe you're paralyzed again.
Only
Oh
for 4
my
rounds
god.
this time.
Only for
And
4
I'm
rounds.
overwhelmed. Oh, wait, I'm overwhelmed. I need to roll that again.
Oh, that's right. You might get a.
RC is
Advantage.
so
Oh, I still, yeah.
Is that
still
an
works.
11? Is that
It's
an
a
11?
20.
It's adding it up wrong.
No, it's a
it's
10
an
and a
11.
10 and a
it's
10.
a 10 and
It's
a 10.
10 and a 10.
That's
Okay.
20.
Okay.
It's a 20.
All right. Thank
Oh,
God. We don't want
okay.
that to be an 11.
Percentage dice roll, but okay.
I wish it was an 11. That would have been nice.
Well, if it's 2 10s on percentile dice, that doesn't make it 20.
Right.
Well, one's a
One would be a
D10.
0 and one would be a 10, so therefore it'd be a 100 or a 0, depending on how we're reading dice.
No, it's a 10 on the 100 and a 10 on the 10, so it's 20.
That's okay. I've never. Okay.
Right?
I think
never
so.
used
Because if it was
percentage
a,
dice
if
that
it
way,
was
but
a
that's fine.
10, if it was a 10 on the 100 and a 9, it would be a 19.
Right.
Is my interpretation. So if you add
So
a
then
10,
you can
it
roll
would
a
be.
20 2 different ways. You can roll a 20 with a 20 on the 10
That's
And
true.
a 0.
and a 10 on the 1 die, or you can roll it 2 10s. It's fine. I'm just
So,
clarifying.
oh,
Honestly, I
You
don't
guys
know
can
the
shoot
answer to
whatever
that
you want. I don't-
question.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
to me.
I don't
doesn't
know.
matter.
Either way, if it's a 20, that's a save, right? It's a success. Yeah.
It's still
so
a
you-
success either way.
Either way, it's a success. So that's the
So
big,
4
that's the most
rounds.
important thing. So for 4 rounds, and Hayes, you watch as your friend goes down. That is their turn. Well, Hayes, what are you gonna do? RT drops.
I grit my teeth, and if we're like say watching a movie, the camera's going to show that now there's black veins crawling up the side of my face, up towards my eye, and I'm going to walk right past these creatures that are coming out. I'm going to make my way to the reactor,
Okay.
and I
You
kind of
guys
lurch
all-
and start to slow a little bit as I continue to make my way towards the reactor.
You guys all have an advantage from Bleak. Thank you, Bleak.
So I go up to the reactor, unless anything else happens.
No, you can move up and get to the reactor. Is there an action that you want to take?
Yeah, I
As
move
you
up
kind
to
of
the
you kind
reactor.
of race past these things that are emerging.
And I get up to the reactor and I look at it, and can I tell a way to overload it like manually somehow?
What do you have? What would you propose for a skill roll in this time of pressure, dire need?
Well, the only thing that I really would potentially be able to use would be military training. Maybe I have some very minor training with demolitions just as a general, being an officer and everything like that. I mean, I don't know if that would work or not. I would assume maybe this would be an intellect roll with that, or I'll just make a straight intellect roll. Doesn't matter to me.
Intellect with military training?
That would be
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
That would make me needing to roll below a 48.
Tim's in the gray again.
Yes.
Oh, poor guy.
I'm gonna use advantage before. Okay, didn't.
Yeah,
Let me
you
use
get
my
an
advantage.
advantage.
All right,
It
yep.
didn't drop yet. I hit the button and then I remembered. So can I use it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a 71. That's a
There
20,
we
so that
go.
would have been a success.
Yep. So you have a success. So you see where there are some modules. You think back to your basic training, and you can tell that there are some modules that you feel like you could pull out and switch them and that might cause some sort of a chain reaction to the, you're not 100% sure because you're not a nuclear physicist, but that's what you can remember. You might be able to trigger a chain reaction.
Do I have any actions left?
Not this round. That was your action for this round.
We're
gonna jump back to the hangar. So we have Yael and Dimitri. You guys made it to the hangar, and you're in the airlock, suiting up with your, taking off your ride armor and putting on your vac suits.
Yes.
And you emerge into the hangar. What would you like to do?
I am going to, as the doors open to the hangar, Dimitri will put down the infrared goggles to scan for any crawlers.
Ooh, good call. You look around and you do not see anything. Currently, the hangar doors, the blast shields are closed. You look around, there's no activity that you can see.
Okay. The coast seems clear. I would go to the panel to open door. I will go into the ship.
Okay. Copy. And I will go to the panel.
All right. Yael, you are going to work the panel to open the blast shield doors. And Dimitri, you get into the ship itself, right? You get in.
Right. And as I go into the ship, I will communicate. I'm assuming these evac suits have comms, like previously. So it'd be like,
be sure to not open door until I give signal. We do not want crawlers coming inside.
Copy that. Not opening the door till signal. Still need to figure out how to open the door. So I'm going to work on that first.
Copy that.
All right.
And slowly, as still keeping the goggles on as the ship's opening, I want to make sure none has come inside the ship as well. So I'm just, and as I approach the ship, we'll do a walkabout scan to make sure that there's no creepy crawlers waiting for us that made a nest inside my ship.
Yeah, and where is the panel to open the door?
It's right by the door. It's right by the where you're standing.
It's right where I am?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just try to figure it out here.
Okay. Give me a roll for your, I can't remember what you have to open doors, but whatever we've been using.
Intellect?
Yep, intellect, but I think you also have, oh, I thought you had computers. Yep. Roll an intellect check as you are, this is extremely stressful for you guys as you're trying to implement this. Dimitri, as you walk about the ship, everything seems to look okay, in order. Nothing should have had access to the ship while you were not there. You never gave access to anybody. You never allowed anybody on the ship. And from what you can tell, how much time do you spend in this, like, looking around the ship? Do you do like a real thorough, like, I'm going to walk through every bit of the ship to look around? And
well, I'm not every bit. I'm going to just do a quick, basic scan that he would do when he gets back to the ship. He goes back to his old processes. So scanning through, make sure everything's okay, do a quick walk around, and then get to the cockpit, sit in the pilot chair, pull out the Rubik's Cube, and start the initial setups to getting the engines running, doing all the auxiliary power checks, all of those things come into place. But
okay,
just a quick walk around.
And as you kind of play around with your Rubik's Cube, it does drop your stress by 1 level, because we have that mechanic, that home rule mechanic. All right, so you start to fire up the engines. It's going to take a couple moments as the reactor fires up and the xenon gas, and you're just hoping and praying to God that the work that you and RT did to fix the fuel line holds. It's going to be a rough flight out of here. What did you roll, Yael, for your?
I haven't yet, because you guys were talking, so I didn't want to roll over you.
Yep, go for it.
So I'm rolling my intellect roll, and I'm going to roll it with my advantage.
Okay, perfect.
So here's the first one.
Okay, so a 70 or?
Okay.
Or 60?
It's doing the 2 percentile dice again?
Well, you rolled a 10 and a 60. I think Kev is right. That would be a 0. I think if it's a 10, it's probably a 0.
Oh.
So that would be a 19, which is a success.
That is a success.
So the doors start to open.
Well, no, wait. He didn't give me the signal yet.
Oh, that's right. You hack into the system and you have control of the system.
I was waiting for him to give me the signal.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Gail, is it possible for you to transfer the controls to your datapad so you can open it from inside ship? I have been to other ports that people were able to do that. See if it's possible.
I can try it. Can I have done that with this check, or do I have to do something else for that?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I'll basically clone the panel onto my personal thing. Just essentially handing over controls so that my data pad is showing what's on the panel and it will be communicated back to it. And then I'll make my way to the ship.
Okay. Yeah, you rush over to the ship and get on board and join Dimitri in the cockpit.
I'll buckle up right next to him as co-pilot if he needs me.
Okay, what do you guys intend to do? And then once we get that, we'll jump back to Hayes and unconscious RT monochrome.
I can't even believe we made it here.
Oh, we're not out of it yet. Help me with checking the fuel gauge, show the panel, and we're gonna spend a good 10-15 minutes just kind of going over these things, and now we hurry up and wait.
I mean, I think we have to wait till we hear. I think I would, because we have the comms, right? Do we still have comms with the rest of the team, or are we too far away?
There's only one way to find out.
Because I think I would try to send a message to the corporal, just saying, Corporal Hayes confirming that we made it to the ship, waiting for your say-so.
It's staticky and broken, but you do, Hayes, get a general sense of the message.
Everything's right on schedule down here. Take off and make a loop around the base. We'll meet you on the southern side. And I take my comm off and I fling it into the chamber.
So he just lied to us. But we wouldn't know that.
Right.
All right, preparing launch sequence.
All right.
Stay buckled in. Let's go.
Strapping in. I'm strapped in.
The engines start to roar to life. And we are going to transition back to Hayes and RT in the reactor chamber. Hayes, you have initiated some sort of sequence that has caused the reactor to pulse brightly as more of these pods begin to open up. I'm going to move this timer down and move this timer up. Please give me a D4 roll.
D4. Four.
Oh, shit. You watch as more of these pods burst open and crawlers begin to writhe and crawl out. And just in case anybody wanted to remember what those things look like, I have this pretty sweet artwork right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You, rightly so, as you pitch your comm link, you realize that the end is near. What do you do in this moment?
I crouch down next to RT. And I lean in really close. And I know he's paralyzed. Are his eyes open?
Yep.
I put some on my face so we're eye to eye. It's okay, little brother. We're gonna get through this. I look back to the creatures closing in. You've got a beautiful lady on the other side waiting for you. And I'll close his eyes. And I'll just slowly slide back so I'm leaning up against the reactor, and I'm watching the things come in, and the veins are just all over me now. There's like black stuff starting to come out of the corner of my eyes and drip down my face and everything. I reach around and I find that dented prospecting mug, and I take a little bit of Dimitri's vodka. With a shaking hand, I pour it into it. It's enough for one shot. And I just take it back. Those Vidania. I chuck the prospecting mug forward.
Don't get any on you.
You just toss the mug as you see these creatures are coming up to you, but they don't seem to pay a whole lot of attention to you, Hayes. They start to swarm up and crawl up on top of RT and just start to tear at him and devour him. And you look down wondering like what the hell's going on. And you've got this sort of these black tears falling, and you can feel something in your chest as you look down, and you can feel this pustule just growing, and it's putting pressure on your organs. This is something you've been feeling since you came to in the med bay.
Can I take my combat knife and slit RT's throat so these things don't eat him?
Yeah, you can. As they're kind of converging up, you get this scene where you and RT are like up on this reactor. You've initiated the sequence. The red lights are blinking. RT's being devoured. And you just come up with your knife as this pustule is about to pop on your chest. You don't even have to roll anything.
And then I just lean back and I look up in the direction that Dimitri and Yael would be with the ship as they're flying this direction.
The last thing that you see, Hayes, second to last thing, is you have this vision of your brother coming up to where you are laying there and just hugging you. And he just says, I missed you, Kenny. I missed you so damn much. And he fades, and you look, your eyes open up, and you see this slime moth that has erupted from your chest look at you with this circular mouth of teeth, and just everything goes black. And we head back to the hangar. Now, Dimitri, you get a sense that there was something in your friend's voice, in Hayes' voice. It just didn't seem right. You've known him. You know the story better than I do of how the two of you met.
Yeah, that's not usual behavior. And he wouldn't have done that without giving us some sort of order. Something's wrong. So I'm just kind of muttering to myself, like, something's not right.
Okay. Trust your
do you still sense them under sensors?
I'll check to see if either of them are alive.
You get nothing. You get no sense of them being in this facility.
Nothing is showing up. It could be the interference. It could be the fact that they're so close to the reactor, right?
I'm sure they're okay.
Yale, as you are communicating this information to Dimitri, you look back down at your handheld, which is tied into the system now, and you see that there is a system warning that pops up. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh,
system shutdown. Reactor at capacity. Reactor at terminal capacity.
Oh shit! It says the reactor's at capacity. We need to swing around and pick them up.
No, I'm already swinging around. Let's go. So just gonna.
He told us to. That's what he told us to do. He told us to come around the side.
Right. So going to take off out of the
Can
hangar.
we do? I know. Is there a way for like Dimitri and I to like do some kind of check to
Well-
like insight of like what's going on? Like, should we keep our distance,
Always.
or do we go through with the like instructions? Because I think Yael also doesn't love taking instructions from Hayes. So if there's a way for her to like maybe get out of taking this instruction from him,
Yeah, absolutely. So first things first, you trigger the door mechanism, right?
Yeah, trigger the
hangar
door,
doors
for sure.
open. You fire up the thrusters, which hold, even given the repairs that RT did, which were RT was is or was a goofy, happy-go-lucky kind of bumbling through life kind of guy, but he was a goddamn good mechanic. And he fixed that fucking fuel system, and you start to hit the thrust. The ship raises up off of the hangar floor, and you start to maneuver with the thrusters. Maneuver it out the door. As you're doing this, you've got the bioscanner on again that you have on the ship. You can see that there are crawlers just streaming into the hangar. So it's really smart that you guys got Yael on board before you open the doors. That was genius, because it just floods in as these things are being drawn to this reactor, this plume that's happening with the reactor. You get the ship outside the hangar doors, and you can see above you that same sloughing of material from the surface of this asteroid, this dust cloud. It's going to be a rough flight. You're managing to keep it sort of together as you move out. You all, both of you, make please a fear save. As you can see, this is not going to be easy.
I know I have an advantage. I'm going to go ahead and use it.
Thank you. Good call.
Good idea.
Ooh, nice. Are those saves?
I failed.
Okay.
I got an 84. I'm pretty scared.
Yeah.
I've got a 46, and I'm still scared.
But you succeeded, right, Dimitri?
No.
No, you didn't.
My fear is 37.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm scared.
Yeah. So you're back at
We're
double
scared.
digits. You guys, you know what? Because of what's happening, give me a panic check. Give me a panic check. Dimitri, you kind of know,
right.
you know what's going on here,
Right.
like with the message and everything. Yael maybe doesn't know as well, but I do need you to make a panic check.
Once per session, I may take advantage on a panic attack. So
Nice.
That's a 14.
Yep, you're good, and you are
18.
also good. Nicely done. All right, so you get the ship outside the hangar doors, and you start to take off, and it's it's jostling, and you feel the turbulence from the rocks and the particulation of this cloud. What are you gonna do? You can see that there's a countdown now happening on your handheld, Yael.
What's
20 seconds. Critical reactor failure.
Dimitri? I don't know if we have time.
wait, do
There's
not,
15 seconds.
I'm punching it. We're getting out of here.
I think as we're about to take off, Yael goes on the comms. So she wouldn't know that he'd thrown it away. And she would say, Corporal, I'm so sorry, but you did us all proud. Then she'd turn it off as they fly away.
Before you turn it off, though, Yael, you hear something. You hear these whispers. And then you hear clearly, the ancient ones have awoken. As you take off and you are going to try to make it through the clouds that surround this place, 14, 12, 8, 6, 4. Dimitri, give me a goddamn piloting check.
All right.
Hell yeah!
Do I have any advantages left? I think Bleak
I haven't-
gave me one.
Yep, I think so.
All right.
Use it, baby. Like I said,
goodness
use
for
it,
that.
baby.
Bumpy ride. Here it goes. Let's see if I make it.
Come on.
Oh,
67.
And my... Oh, I did that wrong because piloting for me is an expert skill.
Yes.
So then that's a 47.
Yes. Which, so that's 47. Which one am I going against? Is this like a strength? Is this a combat?
I would say...
Is it like
I would let you decide. Whatever makes the most sense.
I think it's holding on to the shaking, like, and keeping it steady. So I would go with strength.
Yep, makes sense.
So I'm able to hold on. My strength is 49, and I got a 47. So it's like...
All right. Fucking beautiful. So here's what happens. Hey, Udahime. So what happens is you grab the stick and you're fighting the stick as the ship is like creaking and moaning and it seems like you're gonna sort of like lose control, but you hold on to the stick and as I kick in some badass music, you start to pull away from this thing. And in the background, there's this massive explosion as the reactor explodes, destroying the facility. This white light just flashes across this asteroid. You can even see it through the debris and the particulation that's sloughing off of this asteroid as it's hurtling through space. You make your way out into space. You've managed with that roll to get through the cloud. And I'm trying to get to here. There we go. You get through the cloud and you see the Romulus 7 still in orbit around this asteroid. And as this thing blows up, you sort of like realize what happened. Your friends are lost. The two of you are the only two survivors. You notice as you try to hail the Romulus 7. Go ahead and try to hail the Romulus 7, pilot Dimitri.
Try? I'm sorry, try?
Romulus 7, this is Dimitri requesting permission to land. Romulus 7?
You don't, there must be something wrong with the comm system. And you sort of, you motion to Yael to like go back and check the comms panel.
Check the comm panel, please. This is kind of unsettling. I'm sure with all the debris going through the cloud, it may have damaged our comm system, but I'll give it another try.
Yeah, Yael is just grateful to have a task to do right now, rather than sit with her emotions.
Absolutely.
So I will go check the panel.
Yael, you get up to check the comm panel, and as you do, you hear a door in the back of the mini mule open.
What the fuck was that?
Suddenly my hand's going towards my shotgun. Like, what is that?
Yael, you walk back to investigate. And as you do, you get to the cargo bay of the small hauler, and you look inside and you see the goddamn monolith is inside your ship. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end this story. There's no explanation. As I mentioned, Dimitri, you had the doors sealed. No one had access to the ship. But as Yael goes back and sees this monolith,
I see the monolith and I smell the spiciest, most delicious shakshuka.
Fuck yeah.
And I just breathe it in.
I love that. Let's go to Dimitri. Dimitri, you're kind of like, what is it?
They're like, what is it? What is it? He's looking back and just like, oh, I'm sure everything's going to be okay. And I look back on my Rubik's Cube and like, I recall when I had that last like embrace with Corporal Hayes. I kind of go like that onto my to my chair, and to kind of mimic the same action, And then I open up my hand and I see what he handed me, and he handed me his dog tag. He knew he wasn't going to make it. And so I hold on to that as, as I'm going, what's going on back there? That's my
Beautiful.
final moment. Just
Beautiful.
Like,
let's go over to Hayes. Like, Hayes, when all this went down, you had your final moment, but what was it on the other side?
I think that black all around me and that light at the end that I was walking to before, as I continue to walk through it, towards it, there are two shadowy forms that step out. They hold their arms out towards me. One is very clearly a teenage boy. The other is a middle-aged woman. And as I just draw closer to them, the white light just envelops me.
And RT.
Well, as his death was painless, as the lights sort of began to fade, his mind's eye went to that moment with the woman looking at him from the gangplank going in and him down in the service pit, and it just sticks there like a picture as slowly everything fades to black.
That's really beautiful, you guys. The camera, so to speak, goes black on the scene, but we see it lighten again as we find ourselves in a stuffy corporate boardroom. The thick smoke of cigarettes and pipes hanging over the space, as there's an entourage of lawyers exchanging papers and signatures on a table. Beautiful wooden table. A sharp-dressed woman stands up and walks out of the room to take a call. We can all hear this faint voice on her handheld. Video transmission from Tenebris 979 has been decrypted, and we'll know more about the tests within an hour. Everything was lost. The facility destroyed. We're not sure why, but nevertheless, the tests were successful. We'll have that data soon. But I have better news, Miss Lamont. Sundin Holdings has found another one. A team has been dispatched. The woman ends the call and heads back to the boardroom. And that, my friends, is where this story ends. Thank you so much, you guys.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being part of this game. You guys were definitely right there with us through everything. The madness, the funny parts, the madness, and more madness. We needed you. So thank you for being there for us.
Yes.
You guys who were part of this game, who played in this game, unbelievable role play. Made it very easy for me to toss it to you to create and co-create the story with me, which I love. So thank you so much for that. I'd love to go around the table here. Please introduce yourself, plug anything you've got going on, any of your projects. We want to make sure that we promote you guys as creators. And gosh, thank you so much for doing this. Let's start with Rachel this time.
With me? Hello. I'm sad. My name is Aria Galaxy. I played our scientist, Dr. Yael. This was a really good game. This was terrifying. I had many nightmares. And that's why we do it, folks. So if you'd like to have nightmares, make sure to sign up to play in one of Dave's games through the Discord, Guild Superior.
You're really selling it.
Because you will probably cry a little bit like I am now. But I am very active on Guild Superior. I love playing with these guys. I'm super excited to keep playing in games. I know Kevin and I have talked about possibly doing some stuff in the future, so, stay tuned for that kind of stuff. Love TTRPGs. Please reach out anytime if you have questions or want to talk. I'm working on a home Feywild game right now, so if anyone in the Discord has advice, I know Bleak has sent me a ton of advice. I would love more of that. But I love you guys. Thanks for such an amazing game. At Carollo_Rachel on Twitter, at Carollo Rachel on Instagram. Reach out anytime. Thanks, everybody.
Rachel, you were literally the first person that was like, count me in for this fucking game. I want to play. And I'm really glad that we got a chance to play together. I know that we will play more games together. And not all of my games are this ridiculously dark and maddening. So, but a lot of them are. And I'm glad that you were game for it. So thank you so much for being part of this.
Absolutely, I was. And I was just joking. Dave's great. None of this I blame on him. We all contributed to this shit show. So
that's right. Thank you. Thanks for getting me off the hook here.
All of our bad rolls are not your fault.
Oh my God, those dice were brutal.
Yeah, the dice were rough tonight.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Real rough tonight.
Yeah, Tim started out strong with the rolling, and then just plane crash.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, really
Rachel, really glad that you were able to do this, and I will play with you around the gaming table anytime. So thank you so much. Let's jump over to Kevin. Kevin, thank you so much for being part of this, man.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, Dave. This was great to play with you again in this capacity. It was great to play with all of you. Adrian was our first time, so this was awesome. I had a uber blast. What a great game. But yeah, I'm Kevin. I can be found on the socials at Kevran Games. I'm the host of the Game Night Heroes podcast, which is an actual play podcast that does different stories and things of that nature. It's audio right now, but we are soon branching out into streaming with covering La Notte Eterna, which is a new 5th edition setting that recently fully funded on Kickstarter, which is a high fantasy grimdark setting in a world of permanent darkness. It's very cool. It's going to be some ongoing stuff over on Wanderer's Haven channel. In a couple of weeks, we'll be starting with that. But I've been on Guild Superior before. You can catch me on, I ran a game on Monday Night Mayhem a few weeks ago. Rachel played in it. They were fairy tale characters. Very fun.
That was amazing. So good.
And done some other stuff as well. I was on Shadesong for a bit, and currently tomorrow you could find me on New of Arden. I am playing a very different character than Kenneth Hayes, a fun-loving little cute guy, so named Kaban Mas. So come check that out, run by Dungeon Mr. Ty. Because but yeah, this was great. Have me back anytime. I love you guys. This was great.
Thank you so much, Kevin. If you ever have a chance to play with Kevin, please do, because he brings it real hard, and it's so good. So thank you for a lot of that stuff, like with Hayes and sort of what was happening with him after being attacked. Like that was Kevin, like bringing that to the table, and it was awesome. So thank you for that. I love co-creating when it comes to these types of games. So thank you. Let's jump over to Tim. Tim.
Hey, I'm Tim, playing Blackmore on Twitter. Artsy's been a blast. We should be starting up this next Friday over on Rainbows and Razor Blades with my also very different character, Lobo, who is a cyborg killbot. He's very deadly, so completely different than Artsy. You can also find me coming up here. I'm not remembering when Bleak Season can fill it in, but we're gonna do a Shadesong one shot fun
in April
thing.
Yep.
In April, yeah.
Yep.
That I'm gonna be a part of. That I'm interested in playing because I'm gonna be a mage. That's fun.
That's
not
the
usually
Dragonbane
magic guys,
system.
so.
The Dragonbane system is really fun with magic.
Yeah, so learning a lot, having a lot of fun, and as always, this channel's a blast. Dave's a blast. Played with Kevin before, and Adrian and Aria, you guys are amazing. I've loved playing with both of you. It's just this has been some of the most fun, like, trauma to have together that I've ever been a part of. So great fun. Always looking forward to more. I'm psyched for New of Arden because Dungeon Master Ty is one of my good friends, and we've got all kinds of, I'm just going to plug for him. We've got all kinds of fun stuff coming up for expansions and stuff. So there's tons of content being created that's just going to make this world even better. So tune in tomorrow, definitely.
Thank you so much, Tim. It's always a pleasure to play with you. Every chance I get, I will take. You bring a great element to the game always. So thank you so much. And last but not least, Adrian, thank you so much, man, for being in this.
Thank you. I had such a great time. My name is Adrian. You can find me along the internet as at Sly Sparrow on Twitch or Twitter or Instagram. And I've been playing a lot with Guild Superior. I think the next one I'm doing is Shade Song Saga Wreckage of Stars, which is Thursday, and that one's being storyteller. That is Bleak. So be sure to check that out. Bleak, of course, helped us out so much today. Thank you for all of the advantages and all the cheering and all the bits. It's always great to collaborate, not only with people in the chat, but also with Dave to develop the story. And, you know, it's my first time playing with Kevin. Fantastic. Everyone here is just so good. And one thing I love about what we did was we always created these scenes. It was just like a really good, like 80s horror movie of like just psychic horror of like, I always had the scene in my head. I could see it in my head. And even if I wasn't in a scene and just listening, I could picture everything was described in such a way where it is frightening, and you kind of put yourself in another person's shoes, and it's just like, wow, that's intense. I would not want to be that person. And it was a really great story, and I'm so glad to be a part of this collaboration. And you know, even if it's a traumatic fear type story, I'm still gripped. I like that the audience is still kind of wondering what's going to happen, and you know, the twists and turns is what it's all about. So thank you again for this opportunity, and looking forward to playing with you all soon.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That was well said. Yeah, this was a different kind of game for us, for a lot of us. The sci-fi horror is very different from sort of the fantasy D&D style games that a lot of us are very familiar with. And so it was a stretch, I think. Well, certainly for me, it was a stretch as a DM, but I had such a great group of people to help me co-create the story. And it was interesting because I never knew what you guys were going to do next. And so it kept me on my toes in that, I think it was the last week's episode where we were all over going back and forth between 3 different locations. I mean, that was like, my head was spinning, but it worked out really well. And I thought it was really fun and it built tension. So, you guys are great. I would play that again with you anytime. There will be more Mothership RPG on this channel because this is a really fun game. I want to just quickly say, I'll put my link in the chat. If you guys want to connect and talk about this game or the opportunity for other games, please hit me up on Twitter or join our Discord. We do, as Rachel said, have a wonderful Discord community with a lot of really cool people. All the folks you see here are there and others. And we talk about RPGs and other nerdy things. And that's where we draw a lot of the folks, a lot of the players come from our Discord community. So if you want to get involved with this kind of stuff, please come over and check it out. I also want to give a quick shout out to the creators who created the audio, the music tracks for this game. Carl Casey, Tabletop Audio, Cryo Chamber, and Sirenscape. I used their stuff quite a lot, so their links are in the chat. Please support all of those creators because they are absolutely awesome. And for maps, solution maps and cyber maps, unbelievable maps. These things are beautiful and they're perfect for this type of game. So if you are interested in getting more into the mapping for your own games, go check their stuff out. Really, really appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and raid into our friend Darling Creepshow. It looks like they're playing some sort of a D&D type of game. Thank you all for being here. We love you. We will see you tomorrow with Nuavarden. Come on over and hang out with us in Dungeon Mr. Ty. We'll get after it. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.